What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. We are your hostesses with the mosts, Chase and Myles.
We're hosts.
And we are at the Lucky Duck. Welcome. Myles, please introduce our next guest.
Today's guest is my wife. Actually, it's someone who's been on the podcast before, a long time ago, season 1, I think.
Boom, boom. She
means something to me. It means something to Chase, too. Probably not as much, though. She has been working multiple jobs recently. We're going to talk about what she's gotten into, what she's gotten me into. Please welcome Sarah Verenia Belsky Anderson, my wife.
Yes, my wife, but not my wife.
Yeah.
His wife.
Your wife.
My wife.
How that was great. Thank you for that, Myles.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yep. That was right off the cuff, folks. He didn't write any of that down.
I had an intro. We actually had to take 2 takes. This is the second take.
Second take.
Because the first intro was so good that we were like, we could do better. And then we retook it.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yep.
Remember when you used to write intros?
Yeah, I used to write intros because I am bad at talking. And so I used to write them down.
You're so good. You got a lot of practice now.
Yeah. No, I used to write intros, and I'm lazy, so I don't.
No, you just got so good at it. You could do it in your
I just
head.
got so good at it.
You didn't need to write it down
Yeah.
anymore. You graduated.
Yeah, guys, go listen to the last 3 podcasts, and you'll know.
Definitely. Well, here, cheers, guys. What are we drinking today?
A margarita, a sour margarita.
A sour margarita.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's kind of a margarita.
Kind of.
What's in it?
Tequila.
Yeah, that's the main one. We got lime juice, of course. Can't forget that. That's another key ingredient. And then a blackberry liqueur. Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Tasty.
It is good.
It kind of tastes like
It's refreshing.
Yeah. It tastes like a warhead.
Yeah. A sour candy.
Yeah.
It's not very sugary, though, which is nice.
No.
But
Yeah, I feel like maybe a little simple to cut the sour could have been good, but
Ooh.
Good
But
doing that.
I
I like the way it is, though.
I do like it too.
like it too.
Yeah. Myles, give us your honest opinion about it.
No,
It just feels like it's going to burn my mouth. No.
Yeah.
I think that you could make ceviche in this.
You probably could. So
I
much
love
lime juice.
ceviche.
Lime juice is the best. It's probably my favorite
I know.
ingredient in a cocktail just because it just complements everything so nicely, and it makes, I don't know, it just makes for a refreshing drink, something you want to drink in the summer, you know?
It adds a lot to seafood too.
That's
like
true.
I always forget to put it on, but it makes
Ooh.
it so much better.
Seafood,
Yeah.
Cuban food.
Anything, I
yeah.
feel like you could put on anything.
Ceviche?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
you probably don't want to add extra
Ceviche.
lime to ceviche.
When you get Chipotle, sprinkle a little
Yeah,
lime juice all over that,
beans.
like one of those bowls or
Yeah.
something you get. Oh my God, just
I know, it's
elevates
so
it that
good.
much
Even
better.
water, just regular water,
With lime.
water.
Yeah, just by itself.
So good. I just feel like we forget about limes, but they're so good.
Oh, I don't. I got a whole big bag
Yeah,
of them.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't let my lime levels get below a
Oh,
certain
okay.
point in my house.
Yeah, we need to be better
Yeah.
about
You
that.
put it in
babe.
your topo?
Our lime levels are critically low.
Yeah,
I
they are.
should. Although they make a Topo Chico that's lime flavored, and it's not my favorite. It's not my preferred one. So
Is your preferred one just regular?
either that or the grapefruit. It's pretty good. Yeah. The grapefruit isn't even like, it doesn't even really taste like grapefruit. It's like even worse than LaCroix
It's just
in
like
terms of the
a hint.
Flavor.
Yeah. It's a hint of a hint.
It's the essence of an essence.
Yeah.
That's kind of good though.
I like it.
I feel like the Topo Chico alcohol isn't that good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
also-
like a letdown.
They came out with those, I forget what they call it, sabors or whatever, sabores.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not what they called it. But they're like the little cans
Yeah.
of them, and there's
The Topo Chico?
yeah.
The alcohol?
Remember we bought them?
Oh, the
they were the little
alcohol
4-packs.
ones. Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah.
alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they
no
weren't
alcohol.
good.
No,
yeah.
they weren't.
Actually
Yeah.
made by Topo. Yeah,
And
they're too
they
sweet.
had
It's
like
not
blueberry.
Made, it's not made by Topo. Those aren't.
Yeah.
There,
They
it
are?
wasn't alcohol.
It's on their website.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It was like blueberry canned Topo Chico.
The thing
and
is that
it wasn't good.
Yeah, and didn't they have like
It's something about the bottle, I feel like, too. Maybe it
bottle
like holds
me-
the carbonation better or something. I don't know.
It definitely does, because I've left a Topo Chico overnight and then went back the next day for like seconds, and it was still carbonated.
Yeah. That's the thing. Whenever I would go to Europe, they'd always put a big, huge bottle of water in the room, and I'd come back from a night of having beer and stuff and be craving a good bottle of water, and then I'd go tear it open, and you don't know because it doesn't make a fizzing sound or anything when you open it, and it doesn't fizz when you shake it either. So you just go to drink it, and all of a sudden your insides explode from the carbonation.
Yeah.
And then you leave it out with the cap off all night. You pour some of it in a glass. Neither one gets decarbonated.
Yes, but I feel like the canned ones, they don't source the same like mineral water. I actually don't think it is mineral water at all.
Could it explode the can or something? Like, I don't know.
Could it explode the can?
I don't know.
They're so
It's just
carbonated that I feel like
it's
it would.
That's yeah. I don't know if that has something to do with
If
that.
you go to
who
like
knows?
CVS or Walgreens, I think they sell it in the plastic bottle. As soon as you
Really?
open it, it's like no carbonation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's the glass for sure.
Interesting.
Definitely the glass.
Because in at least in Germany, most drinks you'd buy at the store are in glass already, unless you go to like if you're at the train station, a convenience store, you can find plastic bottle things, but it's usually glass. And yeah, every time I have carbonated water there, it's always super carbonated, and it won't
It won't
be
hold.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it holds it. It holds it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
It,
oh, yeah.
It just doesn't go away.
Right.
But yeah, I had a Topo at the airport somewhere, I think in LA. Remember we got Topo there? You don't remember. Anyway, it decarbonated. Is that what it's called? Decarbonation?
Yeah, I guess
Probably
so.
not.
It
Flat.
uncarbonated.
I don't
Became
know.
flat water. I'll take one flat
Yeah.
water, please. Nobody ever says that. Sounds gross.
Yeah.
Because that
Still,
means
still
it's
water.
Yeah, still flat. Still something about
Technically
like
the same thing.
the taste of a decarbonated drink, like
Yeah.
went through the process. It tastes
decarbonated.
funky,
It does.
doesn't it?
Yeah. It definitely does.
I don't know. I don't.
I
like
think
it.
even like carbonated water has a flavor, like some kind of taste to it, like a mineral taste or something.
If you pay attention close enough, almost all waters have its own
Yeah.
specific profile. Something I never understood when I was younger. I was like, water's just water.
Well,
And then I got older. I was like, there's a
Yeah,
difference.
I always knew. I always hated Dasani. Like I couldn't drink
Dasani?
it. It was so gross.
You
So that's the
mean-
only reason I knew.
Atlanta tap water. That's basically
Probably.
what
Yeah,
that is.
that's why I don't like it.
yeah. I remember in St. Augustine having water from someone's tap there, and I almost threw up
Yeah.
after because it has sulfates and shit
Yeah,
in it.
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not
have
supposed to
that.
drink it, but I didn't know.
But
and it
even
was the
brushing
middle
your
of the
teeth
night.
with it is not.
Yeah, it was the middle of the night, and I was really thirsty, like so thirsty. And I went over and got water, and I
Ugh.
was like so much more thirsty after
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
Do you guys, in all of your travels, have to Google like, is the water safe to drink here? And,
Yeah,
like
internationally.
especially
Yeah.
internationally, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there any surprising places where it's not safe to drink? And also, the opposite question: is there any surprises where it is safe to drink?
I don't know if it's surprising or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
Like
feel like it's kind of what you
Switzerland?
would expect. Something interesting is in South Africa, like because they have that water shortage, they had a bucket in the shower that you would have to recycle the water,
Yeah.
and you couldn't take baths or anything. So, like we would stay in nice places, and there would be a bath, but there would be a sign that like you get fined if you take a bath. and stuff.
Don't use this.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
they just expecting it to
And
like
then-
blow over so that eventually you'd be able to use the tub
I think it was just
No.
there from before.
Yeah.
Like,
before the
but-
water problems?
Yeah. And then you couldn't flush the toilet all the time. It was
Yeah.
but it was safe, right? Was it safe there?
Yeah, I think it was safe. I mean, I actually don't remember.
I don't
but
remember if it was. I think it was.
I know it was like, yeah, they would take the bucket and water the plants, for instance.
Yeah.
Um,
Try to find some secondary use out of it.
Yeah. And then at the airport, it was like, instead of when you wash your hands at the faucet, instead of it just coming out, it was like mist,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
misty water, which is kind of awkward when you have soap
You
all
could-
over your
I think
hands.
that in some places the showers would turn off after like 2 to 3 minutes. Remember?
Yeah.
Mm. That's like camping showers.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that before.
But no, I think that might have been how I got food poisoning in Peru, was the water.
You drank like some of the tap
Well,
water?
I had a smoothie, and I think that might have been what it did, but who knows? I
we
mean,
did have a lot of fish.
We had a lot of ceviche also, yes.
Yeah.
It could have been anything, but
could have been they didn't
hard,
wash the fruit when they made that smoothie or
well,
something.
also like if you're eating vegetables and stuff, like you know, you have to be super careful about that, and we were not careful.
Like salads.
We were
and
pretty
stuff
careful.
especially.
I mean, we ate raw sushi all the time and vegetables.
We were as careful as we could be.
Yeah.
And we had a good amount of ceviche because it's like you're in Peru, you gotta have ceviche.
Yeah.
And then we had like one time we had sushi.
Yeah.
And then we were always eating at high-end places.
Mm-hmm.
Just they were like more expensive places.
The water in Iceland though was like actually the best water ever.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. That's something I guess
so
was
good.
kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Is you can drink pretty much
From any like lake or
so they
any
say.
water source.
So they say.
yeah.
This is just
glacier water.
glacier, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have
It's
to
fresh.
filter it
And I guess they don't
because
pollute
it's
it.
so cold. Yeah.
I feel like I still would be like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was gross. One time we took a bottle and filled it with it's
Glacier
like
water?
glacial flower water, which is sediment and stuff.
Yeah.
And you just see it all in your
It's brown.
bottle.
It's supposed to be good for you if you
I
drink
mean,
it.
it's
I don't think it's supposed to be
not
good.
bad for you.
Put the earth inside of
Yeah.
you, okay?
But then, like on the actual glacier, it was clear.
Yeah.
And I mean, the water it tasted really good.
It's just like when you see all those blue lakes like in the Rocky Mountains, it's
Yep.
just, it's like that stuff that's in there.
Yes, right. That turns the water that color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So whatever, it's
The
the
sediment,
sediments and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably bacteria.
It can't
All
be
that
like bad
stuff.
for you though, right?
I mean, we drank it and we're
yeah,
here.
we were
Are
fine.
you sure? Have you been studied? No, that's interesting. Have you ever seen those like the camping like straws where you like just put it in like water that's unfiltered and you can? I wonder how well those actually work.
I think they work pretty well because a lot of people use them for backpacking where
Yep.
there's not water sources, but I think you have to have a good one. Like
Yeah,
I would
like-
definitely
Yeah.
have a good. I would spend your money on it.
So like Life Straw is
Although-
a pretty popular one, right?
Yeah. The
They sell that like at REI or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they also have water bottles too.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that have like UV light in them that like sterilize, like zaps the
I
water.
don't know. I haven't seen that. I just mean like
Oh.
with the filter in it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
So you like
gotcha.
push down on it and then it just
Oh.
filters it.
What I'm afraid of is like if I buy one of those and I do all day of like using it and drinking it, and then you go to like clean the filter and you see what's in there,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god.
Hey, at least it's not inside
Yeah.
you.
That's true.
So I think that most of those products are meant for like you ran out of water and you really need water.
Like life or death situation.
Almost,
Well, no.
right?
Some people
No?
like there's plenty of places where you don't have access to water sources.
Yeah. Okay.
What if I went to the bar one night with it?
Just drink the toilet water.
no. I wonder how it would change the flavoring of like all
Drink
the
your
drinks.
cocktail.
That's
What if I stuck it
interesting.
in here? Just
Yeah.
like starts.
Yeah, that would be an
The
interesting
bartender
experiment.
looks at you and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't like sugar.
Yeah, I think I want triple distilled vodka.
I have to be able to drive home. I'm the DD. Can't
Yeah,
have alcohol.
I just want the flavor. Yeah, I've always wondered how well those work.
Yeah.
I guess
You know.
well enough.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they'd probably get sued, right?
probably.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've also seen the ones. I think it was on Shark Tank where it was kind of like a IV bag where you fill it up with like whatever water you want, and then there's like some solution you put in, and it basically like you can see it in real time change the color of the
Interesting,
water,
yeah.
and all the bullshit moves to the bottom.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it all moves to the top, and then you basically just drink.
I
I've
wonder
seen
if
that.
that would work
Clean.
in another country where the water's not good. Probably not.
Probably, I don't know.
But
who knows?
It would
what's
be
in there.
interesting. Yeah.
I saw this guy who did a video testing after you boil water, because that's what
Oh, yeah.
when
Yeah.
you don't have a life straw or something and
Yeah.
you're in the forest
Yeah.
and you need water, you boil water. Like when we went to Peru and we did our trek, we can't drink the water there, that even from the streams and stuff. So they at different stations they would take a bunch of water from local water source, boil it, so you'd have warm water that you'd put in your water bottle, and then you
Gross.
drink it. But anyway, this guy, he showed before he boiled it, and after under a microscope, and before it was a bunch of like bacteria and shit all floating in there, and that it looked disgusting. And then afterward, it was all still there, but it was all dead. None of it was moving.
So you can just drink.
So
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask because do they like filter it afterwards somehow?
No.
Like
No.
cheesecloth. You know, like you just, but you
It's
just
just
put.
you're eating dead bacteria.
Hey, I guess that's not too bad.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It is kind of gross when you think about it,
Yeah.
though, right? Like that's all inside.
But
you know?
I feel like that's true of a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Like on food, I don't know.
Yeah, like chicken. You know,
Yeah.
when you want to, you have to heat it to like 165.
Yeah, or like what we talked about yesterday, which was a lot of people getting E. coli from salad,
Yes.
right? When salad's not properly washed or prepared or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like, that seems weird that you can just wash or rinse
Yeah.
salad
Bacterial.
and somehow
Yeah.
the E.
Yeah.
coli is not there or something.
Yeah, we have at some of our restaurants the big salad spinners.
So they
What's
don't use
that?
any kind of disinfectant on I mean,
What's
I
a
wouldn't
sa-
have
I
what
hope
is
don't
it?
not,
think
but-
so. It's this big like tub, and they make them in different sizes. And you know, we have like 20 gallon tubs where you throw all your lettuce in, you fill it with water, and like there's this little crank and it spins it. It basically like
Cleans it.
it's like a washing machine for
That's so
lettuce,
weird.
and then it drains, and then once all the water is drained out, you spin it even more, and the gravity pulls the water out to the sides and down the sides to the bottom, and basically gives you like not dry lettuce, but as dry as it could be, and it's still kind of crisp. Yeah, but that's how
Interesting.
you would clean salad in bulk, basically.
They didn't do
So-
that at Subway, just so people know.
They just comes prepared in like bags,
It's
right?
in bags,
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's
that's
already
what I mean.
pre-washed.
Oh, so
Yeah.
how do you guys go out in the field and
We
pick the
probably
lettuce?
yeah, farm to table, Miles. What are we, Subway here? What are you talking about? No, yeah, you buy them like heads of lettuce.
Oh, and they cut it up
Yeah,
and then wash it.
the right way.
So it's dirty.
I don't trust it. No,
I
I'm just
trust
kidding.
it.
I trust that more than
Then the fish.
Subway and
Oh,
the
Subway,
pre-washed,
yeah.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
you've been like avoiding things like oysters
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
like you got sick, right?
Yes.
It's just like a mentality thing.
yeah,
For you?
it was just, yeah, a little PTSD.
That's
But-
okay. We've all been there.
Yeah.
You know,
Have we all? I had never
I don't
been
know.
there before.
I've gotten some.
I hope
pretty
I'm never
bad.
there again. Really?
Yeah, yeah. Not in a while though. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it lasted like 5 days, and I like had to go to the ER because I like had chills, and I did a telehealth, and she was like, "Yeah, you could have like a blood infection, so go to the ER." But I was fine.
They went like straight to blood infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sepsis.
But
right?
it's because
Yeah.
the telehealth, like they never want
Yeah,
to
they
be
don't
held
know.
liable, so they're always just like, "Yeah, just go to the doctor."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wonder how
there's
many.
any-
Well, I wonder how many like percentage of telehealth like calls they just or like, hey, go to the doctor.
Here's the prescription, or go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, because I was wondering, like, are people going to the doctor more now or less? Because if I was sick, I might have gone to the doctor and said to telehealth, but then I'm like, maybe I would have never gone to the doctor to begin
Yeah.
with, but I did telehealth, and then they told me to go to the doctor. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the same amount. But
Yeah,
who knows?
maybe.
it just equals out.
Yeah.
I guess it also depends on like how many people have health insurance. You know,
Oh,
that's
that's
true.
true.
I feel like I'm more inclined to go to a doctor now because I know it's covered mostly. You know, like
Is
even
telehealth
the-
not covered for you?
oh no, it is, but
Oh.
like I'm
Just like, oh, you mean
like an
instead of
urgent
not going to
care or
the doctor?
something.
Yeah.
If I'm like on the fence about going, but I'm like, oh well, it's like free, so I'll
Yeah.
just go. You know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt.
True.
But if everybody had that mentality, we'd overwhelm the system, right?
I think, like, for instance, for us, I think telehealth's like $25 or something,
Is
and then
it?
I think urgent care is like 50
Yeah.
or something like that.
It's still really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you go to the urgent care after like 6 p.m. or something like that.
It's considered the emergency room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are,
But I do like how telehealth, you can call them 24/7, which is nice because it's like
That is
always in the
nice.
middle of the night that you're like, do
Yeah.
I go to the emergency room or?
Mhm. Do I get a $16,000 bill
Yeah.
or a $50 bill?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, take the phone call for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been good. I feel like there's been a lot of times where we've
Yeah.
called them.
I mean,
and
it's nice to get prescriptions too.
yeah, like when you need some
Like when you're allergic to your
painkillers and stuff.
anti-nausea
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah, that too.
And the ER doctor doesn't recognize your hives.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
After you got food poisoning,
Yeah.
you got hives from the medication.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's not good.
Yeah, it's like it's such a weird thing. You go to the doctor and then they like make it worse.
Yeah. It's got to be pretty frustrating too, I imagine, where you're like, yeah, this did not help.
Yeah.
Maybe it did, but it
I
also
mean, I
did
feel like the
not.
fluids were helpful because I was probably super dehydrated, but that's about it. And
Yeah.
we didn't need to pay that much for that.
They just hooked you up to an IV.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
You know, they do those like in hotels now.
I know.
Where they
Yeah,
just bring
they're
it
so
to you.
easy. Yeah.
In Vegas, they advertise. It's like on the menu in the room now,
Oh, really?
where you can just call room service and
Wow.
somebody comes up with it.
Yeah, that's
So if
crazy.
you want to like have an extra wild night and feel like a little bit better in the morning, you know,
Really?
yeah, you just get your IV bag.
And,
Of, like-
it's a legit IV. It's not like one of those places you go into and it's like college students hooking you up to IV bags.
It could be that. I haven't done it.
It's like if you go to
Yeah.
a hospital, it's like that kind of same thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Nutrients and stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing really.
Do
it's
you
just,
get like, is it like anti-nausea and stuff too? Anti-headache,
I don't-
anti-hangover?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they can prescribe medicine, but it's probably just fluids.
That sounds like a side deal type of thing.
yeah.
What do you
That
mean?
sounds
They're
like
not
extra.
supposed to, but they have it. Like he opens his trench coat and he has like a couple
Yeah.
different options to choose from. So what do you want? You want THC? Do you want some opioids? We'll mix
Yeah.
it, morphine, ketamine. What? Yeah, a lot of the hotels now. like,
Interesting.
in
Yeah, I
Vegas,
wonder
they
what
do
the
that.
backgrounds are of the phlebotomists or the needle people.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
like, how many people
are
have you done
you-
before?
Yeah.
I would like
Because
bring
I
my
have
own
really
needles.
hard veins. Like they always have a really hard time
Yeah,
sticking
I
me,
always
so I
have
don't
to
know
do it.
about that.
Yeah.
No.
I generally don't like needles, so
Oh, really?
I'm like not something I'm like super drawn to. But if
too.
I'm desperate
Yeah.
to not be hungover, then
It's
maybe
worth it.
maybe I would.
I remember when I went to the emergency room, the guy got it in really fast, and I was like, "That was the fastest anyone's ever like stuck me." And he was like, "Yeah, I used to do this in military planes, like while the planes were moving."
Oh shit!
And I was like, "Cool."
This guy could do it with his eyes closed.
Yeah. But when I
Yeah.
went for my MRI, they stuck me like 5 times in each arm, and then they had to bring in reinforcements, and they were like, "Okay, this is our last chance, or you have to go home because we can't do it anymore."
Oh my gosh.
But they got it on the last
Isn't
one.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Like,
They
for
always.
your whole appointment, you have to go home because
My veins are just really tiny. Like I tried to give plasma in college, and they said they couldn't do it because they would blow my veins out.
Dude, that's my worst
Isn't
nightmare.
that scary?
Is like getting poked several times by a
Oh
needle.
yeah,
just
I'm
to
used
find
to it. They
Yeah.
never get on the first try, except that guy.
I hate when they like I don't know. I feel like those are the thickest needles too. Like when they just
pretty
when
big.
you get a shot or something for the flu or whatever, they're little tiny needles.
That's
They-
intramuscular, so it's like
So
literally
it barely
just in your
goes
muscle.
in?
It's not your
Oh.
vein.
So when they go into the vein, it like what
It
they're
has
thicker.
to go in your vein. I don't know if it's thicker. It's just like not as precise.
All I know
and it
is
doesn't go in your vein.
I think I've had it twice, like once here and then I think once in my arm or in
Yeah.
between my fingers here. And this one hurt. Like
never
when
had
I
it
would
there.
move, it would hurt.
It's kind of impressive that they can do it. I'm like just looking at my arm and I'm like, man, there's so many different ways you could miss just by I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like
I
I would
know.
not be good at that.
But I feel like when you go to
Yeah.
school for that, then it like you couldn't really miss, you know?
I guess.
I don't know. I just stick a
Whoever
needle
was
in
doing
somebody
your
once.
MRI one, it probably was like fresh off the shelf.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's, it's
not-
nurses that do it,
maybe.
right?
I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's nurses,
literally,
for
they've
sure.
always struggled though. Like that guy was the only one who could ever get it in the first try, so it's like normal for them
Yeah.
not to get it. But I had to give him intramuscular injection like in school, which all you do is like stick in the shoulder,
Like
so
the
it's super
shot?
easy. Yeah, it was cool.
Why'd you have to do that?
I don't know.
In case you have to give someone an injection for
know.
something?
I wonder
We had to
why.
pass
Wonder why stuff
something.
like that you shoot into the muscle.
Because it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot. I used to know. I think it's because of somehow the absorption is different.
So if you shoot it in the vein, then it's gonna just go straight into
To
your
the bloodstream.
Yeah. Versus into your muscle somehow. It
Maybe it's
eventually
like a
gets there.
slower release.
Or like
something.
below. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a good reason.
But we also had to do like an intradermal one, which is like where you just like you do it right here, but it's called like a bleb, and you make like a little bubble. So you do the needle like this, and then a little like It was
What?
kind of interesting. A little like blister of the fluid underneath your skin goes there.
Really?
And it's like for an allergy test. I think that's what it was. At
Oh,
least I
so
can't remember.
So it doesn't
But
spread?
it's superficial.
Oh.
So it's just like you just like do it really superficial.
Okay. So what
I also did
have
that.
you guys ever had an allergy test where they
When I
like
was young,
poke you a bunch
yeah.
of times?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Are you guys are you allergic to anything?
Yeah, I think I'm allergic to I'm allergic to Zofran.
So Fran.
Anti-nausea medicine, which
yeah,
is
okay.
great for me since I'm like fucking terrified of vomit, but
That's true. Yeah.
penicillin and then like
Oh.
some random stuff. Like
What-
some environmental stuff.
Didn't you or someone said recently that a lot of people think they're allergic to penicillin?
Yeah, I
but
don't
they're
know if
not
I am.
actually.
Yeah.
But why is
Really?
that?
I think it was like over diagnosed for some reason.
Because you had a reaction to something else,
Mhm.
maybe?
I do like this drink. It's pretty good.
I like it too, actually.
Yeah.
It's actually a little bit less sour as you keep drinking it.
True that.
Once you get
I think
used
it
to
gets a little diluted with
Yeah,
the ice,
maybe
but
that's what it is.
it's still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
Isn't it true that if you have a bubble in, like, if you took like a IV or something and there was a bubble in it and you stuck it into your vein and then you
Oh,
pushed
yeah.
the bubble into your vein, you would
So
die?
what we had to do, I remember this, because you had to like same thing like with the intramuscular. You first have to like take out some like pull out before you inject to make sure there's no blood, because if you're in the vein, that's bad. So I
Oh.
think they do that too.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And
the
you have to
air-
make sure there's no air. Yeah.
Yeah, the air will kill you because it circulates. It goes into your bloodstream and then it goes to your heart.
Yeah.
And causes like a heart attack. That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
There's probably a more fancy.
Isn't that how they kill ducks and stuff?
I don't know.
Right? I think that's how they do it. Is they
Really?
shoot air into their veins and it kills them like
I
instantly.
had no idea.
I wonder if that's a easy way or a painful way to go.
Probably the
It sounds
easy
painful,
way
but
would
probably
be to
easier
just
for-
chop the head off, right? Like quick chop to
Maybe.
the head, duck head.
Well, I
Sounds
think
a
they
little
do
messy.
the cattle way where they do the metal air rod to your brain.
Oh yeah.
I think that's like scientifically what they assume is the most humane way to kill
Interesting.
an animal.
Because it blows your brain up.
It basically just instantly goes black.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
well,
crazy.
obviously they can't know for sure, right? But
Yeah, because if you cut someone's head off, like
the brain still operates
Yeah,
for several
Mhm.
seconds.
there's still
afterwards.
oxygen going through the brain.
Mhm.
So
That's
you'd
so
know,
crazy.
and it would
Oh
hurt
my
really
God.
bad probably.
I don't know because
No-
your
no
body
nerves?
tends to go into shock very quickly,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much time will needed to be passed in order to start feeling the after.
I
effects
was
of the shock.
watching. We were watching a snake show a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and there was like a
Swamp
python.
Wars.
Yeah,
as it's
swamp-
called.
We were?
On Animal
Or
I
Planet.
don't think you were there.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I wasn't there.
There was
I don't
a
remember that.
python. Someone had decapitated it, and it was like still moving
Mm.
after.
Yeah, it's muscles. It's like
That's because I think after the muscles contract after your death, that's like rigor
Yeah,
mortis.
he said
Yeah,
that it
rigor
happens to
mortis.
people too.
Yeah.
Well, all kinds of.
But it's not
animals.
like they're actually moving their muscle,
chicken's the same
as
way.
far as I know.
Remember
They'll
that
run around with
we
it.
talked about this at one of our earlier podcasts.
Mhm.
There was a guy in Colorado who had like chopped off the head of a chicken and it lived for like a month after
month?
that. So he brought it on the road to like as a freak show. I mean, people would pay money
That's
to
so
see it.
crazy.
Yeah, it eventually
How is that
died.
possible,
I think
though?
he tried to recreate it too with not a lot of luck. I
He
think it was
killed
just one
so
of those
many
freak
chickens.
things where it was just still
Wow.
like trotting around.
The way he hit it, the way he chopped it off, it
Yeah.
just barely killed it.
It was like, you ever get those like dishes with the fish skin that's still moving?
No,
I
but
can't
I've seen
remember-
them. The
yeah.
octopus.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
I
kinda like that,
saw
yeah.
on
Octopus.
Instagram. I saw these
Mhm.
people eating it, and it was like moving,
It
but it
moves
wasn't
around in
a
your
lion.
throat, right?
Probably.
You have to, I think it's like you heat it or you salt it or you do something
Oh,
and it
right.
starts moving. Yeah. I first had it at Momofuku in Vegas. It was like a dish that they had it on, and it was weird, like because you don't know, just
It's
odd.
the-
Did you,
Thought
did
of
you
it
call
is
the
kinda-
waiter back
yeah.
over and you're like, this is still alive? Can I send it back?
Yeah, can
That's
you
so
cook
funny
this
because ever
longer?
since I had food poisoning too, I send a lot of food back, and I'm like, can you cook it
Yeah.
a little more?
Oh my
I never
gosh.
used to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, one time you did do it a couple of months ago.
and we got it for free.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you guys cook this a little longer? Because it was fish and it was like pretty raw inside, and we were like
I'm
kind
not
of
taking any chances. I'm
expecting-
on a vacation. Like,
Yeah, kind of like I think fish is one thing you don't really do like rare.
Yeah,
when
I
you're
mean,
cooking
it
it,
can be
right?
pink, but it was too pink for my
Yeah,
comfort.
unless you like if you ordered
Like a raw fish.
yeah, if you ordered mahi, what is that called when it's when it's not cooked inside? Seared, right? It's just
Yeah.
like seared on the outside.
Yeah, you
Seared
mean like
ahi.
Yeah, that would be normal. But
Yeah.
whatever fish you had ordered, it wasn't. It was just like a normal fish, like salmon or something. I wouldn't expect salmon to be raw on the inside, and it was kind of raw
It
on
was
the
also
inside.
$65.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not.
Good
I'm
point.
sending it back. This
Yeah,
is so
and we
expensive.
asked, and we were like, "Oh, can you just cook this?" And she goes, "Oh, let me go bring it to the chef." And she brought it back, and then she comes back out, and she was
They
like,
made a new one
Yeah.
instead of like just heated that one up.
"Yeah,"
And
she
it
was like,
still
"There's."
pink.
The chef said they're really sorry, and they're gonna bring another one, which means that they cooked it wrong, right?
Not
I don't- no,
necessarily.
I don't think
in
so,
a
yeah.
in a nicer restaurant, they're only going to apologize
Yeah.
no matter
Oh,
what. So if,
interesting.
Yeah.
even if they were wrong, you're still right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the hospitality.
I mean, if you're
industry.
paying for it, if you want it well done, like
Okay.
they're gonna make it well
I,
done.
I still think it. You didn't even ask for it well done. You just asked for it.
I know, but it was
done.
surprising that they made a whole new one instead of just heated it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And then they ended up
Yeah.
just taking it off my bill. And I was like, honestly, I'm good with that because it was not worth $65.
Yeah,
It wasn't that good.
it wasn't.
It was just because we were at that lodge that was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah, sometimes it's also just a mentality thing, and if you get a whole new slice, it tends, I think, to generate a better outcome in terms of like customer satisfaction.
I see.
Yeah, even
It was
though
still
it was
kinda
still kind of raw. So
It was still kind of raw the second time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was, yeah.
You're like,
I don't know. I've only had fish cooked that raw like 2 or 3 times of all the times I've ever gotten fish.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Sometimes I like raw fish, but in like very small
Yeah.
bites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like
When it's
big.
meant to be raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
like I don't like cooked raw fish.
No.
Yeah.
No, like when I was in Japan, they'd have oysters that are like massive. There's like big meat patties of oysters, and I
It's a
ordered
lot.
one, and they like take a blowtorch to it, which is basically just searing the outside. So the outside is like a little toasted and kind of warm, but the inside is all raw. So I bit into it, and it was like really fucking gross in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
It was like eating a big glob of
Yeah.
oyster. And nothing. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
I'd prefer that to be in like little smaller
I
portions.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really gross.
I feel like scallops are kind of like that. I mean,
I
scallops.
really like scallops.
I think scallops are good when they're
Yeah.
cooked well, but
But you
I
can
feel like more
cut them.
times than not, they I don't know, they taste very raw to me.
Really?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I think raw scallops are good too.
I feel like you can
Really?
cut them though, at least. Like,
Raw scallops? That's a thing.
I don't know.
People eat
Oh,
them
for
raw?
sure. Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I had them in.
I like
Nashville.
scallops a lot. But yeah, some of them are really big and you just like cut it though. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's,
But what's the difference between eating like an oyster and a scallop raw?
Okay, if it's a very small scallop, because usually
Yeah.
the scallops are like this big.
Oh man, that's a big
not
scallop.
always. Yeah.
I feel like
Really?
they're usually like that big.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Really?
Here's the
Uh-huh.
camera.
Damn, we've been having too big of scallops.
Where'd you have that scallop?
You have
I
massive.
never
You have
saw
these
that.
big
for,
old.
for instance, in where did we go? Alaska.
No, they were like this big.
No,
They were this big.
They were way bigger than that.
No.
Maybe you had something else.
I had to take like 4 bites of it. I couldn't. That big, you can eat all in one bite.
Okay.
Yeah,
And also, an
usually
oyster, you don't chew, you just swallow it.
Usually with like scallops, I always get disappointed because they give you like 3 or maybe sometimes 4, and then I'm like I end up cutting them in half and like eating
Yeah.
them, and
Yeah.
so like one whole bite.
I love
just to-
scallops.
yeah, they're pretty good.
That was like, speaking of small food portions, when we went to that Italian restaurant the other night, I got that pasta dish, and there were like 10 pieces of pasta on it. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whatever that pasta I had was, but there were like 10 pieces. And I was like, this feels more like a appetizer.
Yeah. What was like the meat that it came with or the protein?
It wasn't anything. It was just
Yeah.
pasta.
Pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
But
which
yours
I
was
was
the
like,
smallest out of everybody's.
I know.
Like I think it was just what you
It
ordered.
wasn't that expensive either. It's just,
Mm.
it was weird to have had that little
Yeah.
of pasta on
Yeah.
on an entree.
I feel like it's becoming more and more like of a thing where it's like tapas or.
That's
a big
fine.
thing.
I like that.
I like it
Yeah.
too.
But then they can like give you less and charge you the same amount of
I know,
money,
yeah.
and then you buy more because you're
Right.
like, oh, I'll get a few tapas.
Yeah.
Then suddenly your bill's like
Yeah.
double what it should be.
Yeah.
True.
It's pretty smart. if for a place, especially it's just like when a top-up place shouldn't be a top-up place, and you're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
But generally, that's the way I like it too, because then you get to try more things.
Right.
Same.
You know?
Yeah, we went to a place in Canada that was a tapas place. Do you remember in Canmore?
It wasn't really a tapas place, though.
Oh.
I feel like we just made it tapas.
So they had a small plates section,
yeah,
which is
we
like
just,
tapas. Basically.
It was like sides too.
Yeah.
But we weren't really that hungry, so we just
they
ordered
weren't
a bunch.
expensive, so we figured, and it was a nice place. So we
Yeah.
thought these are gonna be really small, like $9
Yeah.
for a tapo. We're like, that's not gonna be a lot of food for a fancy
We
place.
weren't that hungry, but
And
we
it said
ordered a
small
bunch.
dishes, so we ordered a bunch of them, and then they come bringing
They're
them out, and
freaking
dude,
huge.
yeah, it was like half entrees.
Yeah. And also they were more like sides, like not tapas. So we were like, we have so much
Yeah,
Sides,
Like
yeah.
appetizers
Yeah.
basically. They
It
were
was
huge.
good though.
Yeah,
But yeah. Oops.
yeah. Then we're like, oh, okay, we're done with this dish. Like potato something. They had these potato side
Oh,
things,
yeah, that was
and it was
good.
really good. But yeah, it was a huge dish
We'll get
of
to the
potatoes, and I was like, this is like you can't eat that many potatoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it just depends on I don't know if you wanted to get like a meat as a side too, help like round it. If it's just sides, that may be a little. It's like Thanksgiving or something
Yeah,
where you just eat the sides.
I guess so. Unless you don't like meat,
Yeah, yeah,
then it's good.
that's true. Although if you're just eating potatoes,
Well, it's no, yeah, that's the thing is that it was like so many potatoes, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't eat all these. Take it back.
that's like the what's the thing that's going around on social media, the girl dinner thing. Have you heard of this? They call things girl dinner, which is like eating sides basically.
Yeah. Sarah showed that to me
Something
actually.
like easy to make or something.
Yeah.
Calling it girl dinner.
And there's another trend like that.
Guy dinner.
No, but it was like guy explanation or something like
Oh,
that.
mansplaining, basically.
Not mansplaining. It was
Oh.
like there's like you're justifying something based on something a guy. I don't know. It
Oh.
was stupid.
Maybe
but
called gaslighting.
gaslight.
Man gaslighting. What would be man dinner? Just like grilled meat. That's it.
Probably
Sides.
like just a steak and
Man
a beer.
dinner. Yeah,
Or a
or
hamburger.
just beer.
Just beer.
The
Bud Light.
ultimate dinner.
Oh, wait, not Bud Light anymore. Girl math.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, girl math.
What is
like,
girl
if
math?
If you have $5 loaded up on your Starbucks app, then it's
free.
and you spend it, it doesn't really cost you anything. It's free because it was already there. Or if you pull out cash from your bank account, it's like you already spent the cash. So anytime you actually spend that cash that you pulled out, it doesn't count.
Is that true? Or is he mansplaining?
No, it's true.
Janie went over it with us
Yeah.
to me.
Oh, really?
like, the
You know
other
what's
night.
crazy though? So you know the Starbucks like app, how you can store money? Like apparently it's like one of the largest banks in the U.S.
That's crazy. Yeah,
and it's like, what do
Yeah.
they do with it?
it's pretty
It's
smart.
so crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, because you gotta imagine the amount of people that forget it's in there.
for sure.
Yeah,
Or-
or just holding it. Like
Or
if,
always have money
if,
in
y-
there.
if you have
too.
like 10 million customers and each of
Mhm.
them have, I think their minimum reload is like $25 or something,
Yeah.
and each of them have an average of like even $10. That's quite a bit of money.
Mhm.
That's like what are some other things that do that? Like the one thing I use is Express Toll Pass for Colorado.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
so
to, like,
annoying. It's
preload with money.
$35
Yeah.
every time you load it.
So I imagine they probably have quite a bit of money sitting
Yeah.
in their account
Yeah.
as well.
That's so true.
You know?
Yeah. I hate the toll roads. The
I like
shit.
them because you can avoid traffic at least.
They came out with this new technology where using like cameras or some shit, they can see at any point on the road when you cross the double white lines now.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
Mm.
like installing this technology
Yeah.
across.
I think they already had it on I-70, I think, in the mountains or something like that.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be on a bunch of the roads here.
Have you got caught?
No, I don't go in the toll lanes
Are you sure?
really in Denver.
You don't ever cheat it?
I go on the expressway, but that's only express.
Yeah, I gotcha. I've never like
I've seen
I
people
don't think
do
I've
it.
ever, yeah, I have.
I think if there's no one like if there's literally no one around, then like what's
Yeah.
the big deal? But I see a lot of people do it in traffic, and it's like I could see how it could cause an accident.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because when you sent me that article about them expanding that program, I was like, this seems like a big waste of money. But if it is going to actually like reduce car accidents, then I think that might actually be a good thing.
Yeah, that's what they said. So they said that for the first like 2 months, they'll be sending out warnings to give people kind of like a fair. If you're someone who does that, to just be like, they're not trying to trick you into it.
Hey, you're breaking the law, and you have
Just
been
so you
breaking the
know.
law.
Yeah.
Here's a warning for breaking the law continuously.
And then it's gonna be $75 every time you do it.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, but that's what I wonder is because what they said was, oh, they think what it'll generate is or no, I think it was where they already have it has generated a couple $100,000 in revenue or something like that, and they were saying that's great, but also we think it's going to save lives basically. And then it made me wonder how often that issue causes accidents.
Well, you got to imagine, if you're going to just swerve over really quickly to get back over, I'm sure if there's another car zipping by that just smacks you, that could be a big problem.
Right.
That could potentially be mitigated by this program. Be funny though. I want to know what they're going to be using that money for. To build another toll road.
Yeah, probably.
Perpetuate the toll roads.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a guy driving on a toll road, and right before he like ran under the cameras, his like a cover zipped down over his license plate.
Are you serious?
It was like one of the he pressed a button and it went down.
Yeah.
And then when he got by, he pressed it, went back up.
I've also seen them on motorcycles where they flip up under the tail.
Really?
Yep.
And then people said if you take those covers that you put on the like the reflective ones, that when it takes a photo, it will reflect back at itself, so it can't see the actual plate. I don't know if that's true though.
I don't know. I knew people that would, when it snows, they just pack the snow up onto the license plates.
I mean, sometimes that happens on accident.
Yeah, on accident, Miles. On accident, guys.
But also you can get a ticket for that.
Really?
Yeah, if they can't see your plate, like there's a cop behind you, they could pull you over and just say, like, they could give you a ticket, but more likely they would be like, hey, go clean your license plate.
Yeah, there's certain things where it's like against the law, but you don't ever get in trouble for. Like having those little like trim pieces around your license plate, technically not allowed.
In Colorado?
Why?
I think everywhere. And I know in Florida for sure.
Oh.
It's like a rule where you can't have any obstruction to your license plate. So even a little trim piece around the border counts. So if the guy wanted, or the gal wanted to be, aggressive, or, was having a bad day and wanted to get you in trouble, they could. Or they could, it's causation to pull you over. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the degenerates that don't have front license plates.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about that. Wait, did you end up putting yours up?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to get another ticket.
Didn't you get it reduced though?
Yeah, I think it was like $100, and then it went down to 25.
That's good.
And then I told Chase, and then he
did it too.
Yeah.
And it worked.
All you have to do is just email and say, hey, I didn't know this was a problem or something,
yeah.
and then they'll just reduce it.
I want to say that works for most infractions like that.
Probably.
Where you can just go in and appeal, give some sort of like
I really
reason.
didn't know. I was like, I know you need the license plate, but I didn't know you could get a ticket for parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And for not having it. So
Yeah.
it was the first time. I think it's fair that they reduce it. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, it's the art of asking, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got my new tax appraisal on the house, and it was way higher than I thought it was going to be.
And then you asked to
and then
reduce
I
it.
was like, hey, this is way too high, and I gave some like comps in the neighborhood, and then they basically met me halfway.
Yeah. I read about that.
Because a lot of people won't ask. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everything is negotiable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
like
the most
the
part.
rent,
Yeah.
like our rent.
Yeah, like our rent, we just asked, and they were like, what are you comfortable paying? And we were like, not any more than we pay now.
$20.
Yeah. And they were like, well, we can't do that. And I was like, I know.
We were like, what's the lowest you can do?
Yeah.
No, you can do that. You're just not going
Yeah,
to do
true.
that.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. And then there's a certain point. You can
Yeah.
only negotiate so far.
Yeah.
You could some people are really good at it, you know, like
Yeah.
convincing. You could go down. You could probably go toe to toe with them and just convince them that money's not real, you know,
Probably,
and that we're
yeah.
all like a slave to the system. Like you're right, same rent.
You know,
Here you go.
one time when I was actually trying to buy a Jeep at the time when we were trying to buy it, I found one that I really wanted from this. I think it was Emmett Motors or whatever it's called, or somewhere around
Good
here.
dealership here.
Yeah, and I mean maybe it wasn't. I don't want to talk bad about them in case it wasn't them, but I took that Jeep, the Carfax, all the stuff that it had in it, like all the package that it had, and it had a lift and things like that. And I took another one, the Carfax on that, how much like they were worth, all the history on them, everything, and like what condition they look like. And I told the guy, I was like, your Jeep's over, like you're selling it for too much by like $5,000, I think it was. And I was like, this is why, like, here's some comps from other dealerships and stuff. And he was like, if you come in today, I'll give you, I think it was like $250 off. And I was like, that's not even close to what I was trying to ask. And I was like, no, and I kept going back with them. I was like, you're asking too much. And he was like, no, our software tells us that it is priced perfectly. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's good. There's
And then
such a good excuse.
He didn't even give a shit. I just
Yeah.
I stopped emailing him. Didn't email me ever again.
That's like, I feel like all it is, like whoever cares more.
Yeah. He didn't give a shit.
Will
And you
win.
know what? He sold it
or
because
will
someone's a fucking idiot.
lose.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the
Right.
the bottom line of
Right.
it is he didn't need to negotiate because
Yeah.
he sold it anyways because the market's in demand. I guess I don't know.
But then I ended up getting a Jeep for like probably $5,000 or $6,000 less. And the only thing that his had on mine is I think it had a lift, but I think ours had like the cold package or whatever.
So it was better.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
you could
It
get a
worked
lift
out
on
for
for like
us.
$2,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we got a good deal though.
Buying cars is so annoying.
I know I
and
don't do it anymore.
stressful. You know, just have somebody do it for you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go buy it for you. See, I feel like we almost, remember, where were we? That we almost bought that truck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, let's leave.
Oh, we were at the Jeep dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it was a lease.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Oh yes.
And we were like, this seems, because it was really cheap. It was like less than $200 a month for the Jeep truck. I
Yeah.
forget what it's called.
Oh
Gladiator.
yeah, Gladiator.
Yeah. And we were like, this doesn't, the only thing we couldn't figure out is you can only go like 10,000 miles a year or something like that. I think we couldn't figure out if we would go more than
Yeah.
that and how much
I definitely
extra
do.
it would cost.
But
you
I feel
know?
like we almost bought it. I feel like I could understand how people buy cars that they don't
Oh, yeah.
intend to buy from the
Yeah.
car salesman, you know,
like
because they're just really good at selling.
yeah.
But
Totally.
then that's why you always have to leave, and then you can
Yeah,
always come
yeah, you
back.
can come
But
back. Yeah, they were disappointed.
Buyer's
Yeah.
remorse
Yeah.
is a
The guy was like,
real
"Oh,
thing.
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
they were like, "What can we do next time?"
I
Like,
keep
they
trying to
always say
get
that.
Sarah to get us a car, like a sponsored car.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like,
we just need Subaru to give us a car.
You
I don't
guys
think
need
they just
a
give away cars.
Chevy
they
Equinox.
rent them.
I don't know. I've seen people on YouTube get cars.
Yeah, maybe if you have like 1 million followers.
Free car alert. If you
But
guys go to
cars-
adventuringeyes.com, you can sign up for the
You can
the
go
lottery.
on a trip to Guatemala.
Yeah. So you guys been super busy the last couple months with a bunch of traveling and the Instagram stuff. How's that been?
Yeah, tiring.
Tiring?
Yeah, I think we've only been home like 1 or 2 weekends this whole summer.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot. Yeah.
I'm sure this weekend. Well, you guys went for like one night.
Yeah,
somewhere,
which
but-
was fine. Like
yeah.
it's felt like we've been home, but I mean, it's been super fun. We've gotten to do like insane things, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to like be home for a little bit and not go to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling kind of
Especially the
butt.
Denver airport is like the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I
the
know-
worst airport I've ever been. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree wholly.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So I think that Sarah says this because it's like the busiest airport she's ever been
Okay,
to.
that
is.
is, yeah, but also like a few other things. Like it's just like none of the chargers work on the seats.
But
Which is like a big
but
deal
counter
when-
argument, devil's advocate here. That's very common for every airport.
Yeah, I've been
Maybe.
to a lot of
Yeah,
airports
that's
where
true.
that's the same. In fact, I've been to tons of airports where they don't even have chargers in the seats.
Yeah.
However, what I would say is that DIA has a staffing issue. I don't know if that's still true, but from a consumer's point of view, they still have a staffing issue because it's dirty. Like it's often dirty. The filters on like the water are never working. Like they just don't even have a sensor
also like the
anymore.
fact that you can
Oh,
only
wow.
take the train is like just not.
That's a problem.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's like really. I
They
feel
had a
like a
growth
hazard
issue, I think.
almost.
I think they had
Yeah.
They have like
Right.
growing pains.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not the worst airport I've ever been, but it's definitely not the best, and it's
Yeah.
definitely more towards the worst.
I think when people tell me, I've heard people say that it's confusing, like it's a confusing airport,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of the easiest airports to get around in. Aside
Interesting.
from like maybe the whole fact that you can't walk from B and C to the exit, like that may be a little bit confusing to people that they have to take a train. But it's literally like if you're going to the airport, you go there, you can go to any TSA. There's like no separate TSA. There's not a separate international area. There's one check-in. Well, either side
Yeah,
check-in.
that's true.
Right? It's like either
No,
side.
it is easy. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, then you go
Yeah.
through security, you take a train to your concourse, and then you go one way or the
And
other.
it's
And
quick
that's where
lately.
you go.
Too.
And when you exit, same thing. You just go
Yeah,
to the
maybe it's just
center of
because
the
I've been there
concourse,
so many
take the
times.
train.
I'm just like over
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But-
the average. I feel like the average person may have a different perspective because they don't fly as much as you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of airports too.
Mhm.
Which one's
So,
your favorite airport?
I like.
You liked the new terminal at Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I did. And San
LaGuardia.
Francisco. San Francisco is pretty good.
San
SFO.
Francisco.
Yeah.
LaGuardia's new terminal.
Oh my God, look, that one is my favorite.
Really
They
nice.
had this like light show that was like 30 minutes. It was like a light and water show,
Like, they
and it
probably
was so
spent,
good.
Like $100 million on it or
Yeah,
something.
it was
no
so
doubt.
good.
Yeah, it's insane.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
like
the-
that one a lot.
Do you know what we're talking about? The water show thing? Have you seen that?
No.
It's literally it's like the
It's a
ceiling.
circle
yeah,
of
it's a
water.
circle.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about.
It's really
yeah.
entertaining, and
That's
we
cool.
sat there for 30 minutes, and it was different the whole time. And I'm like, this
Wow.
is crazy.
Yeah, it was
Very
neat.
cool.
And it was funny because everybody around was like entranced
everyone was
by
just
it,
sitting
like
watching.
just staring at it.
Because there's a bunch of food places around, so
Yeah.
you can watch it while you're getting.
It's just
food.
like the way that I judge airports is how comfortable I am there. And like
Gotcha.
Denver just seems like everyone's like really close together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like other airports have bigger seats that are like farther apart and stuff. And that's like where I'm comfortable. So I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I'm kind of like in shock that it's not more dysfunctional than it is
I agree.
because of how many people they fit through.
Yeah, it's one of the busiest airports. So, I
yeah.
mean, I think, yeah, it's just like the facilities and how comfortable I am. That's what I judge it on.
Yeah, I hate going there because of how crowded it is. Like
Yeah.
I totally agree.
And also
I
that they
hate
only have
going
one
there.
pre-check line. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think that's
You have to go
changing
all the
now.
way to one side.
That's all
right?
about the construction, like
yeah,
the whole
right.
changes that
Yeah.
they've made. It didn't used to be
Yeah.
that bad.
I think it's like next year is when the whole top level is going to open.
Oh, okay.
think
That's
so.
cool.
There's a big escalator that goes from the top level all the way down to the train level
Oh,
now.
nice.
And so that's going to make a pretty big improvement, I guess, with like
But-
throughput.
Won't they close one of the others so it'll still kind of be like they're going to probably redo one of the other security areas,
I don't think.
right?
I don't know. I don't think
We'll
so.
just keep it open
I'm not really sure.
because they need more
They
TSA people too.
They change the things
All the
time.
all the
Yeah.
Based on like deadlines and contracts and all that.
Yeah, it's been a weird
Yeah,
construction for them. I don't know.
I am
They've-
impressed. Like I'm still impressed with the airport. It's just that I also like anytime we ever go there, like don't count on getting food there. Like if you have a layover there or if you're not getting there extra early, don't count on getting food because either you will get food because
Yeah.
the line won't be too bad. It's
Yeah.
usually still pretty long, like all the time, or it'll just be horrible.
I've actually seen a lot of
Yeah.
people on Instagram like talking about how it's really
Yeah.
bad, like for a layover, just because it's like if you don't have that much time. then-
And no offense, again, like I'm impressed with that airport, but also whoever planned the extensions of the airport did a horrible
so
job
far.
at planning food spaces.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
I like that. I
they
like
may
that
be
little.
coming, but
yeah,
but for now, it's super frustrating for people.
Yeah, there's just not enough food. Yeah, they're
Down in
definitely
that
under
area.
concessioned out
Which
there.
is crazy because they could be making so much money on that space. I mean, I'm sure they
Yeah,
are
they
because
could.
of more people flying through, but
Yeah, like there's like several marketplaces, like big
those
food
little
hall
ones.
concepts that are coming to
Oh.
each extension. It's just like they're taking forever to open.
Hmm.
You know, building anything at the airport is kind of like
Probably
a
takes
big
yeah.
red tape mess.
Yeah.
It takes like extra long.
Hmm.
All the different like processes that go into like getting people out there to work is really
Is that because of the
frustrating.
security stuff, or is
Yeah,
that just
definitely.
the airport?
Yeah.
It's mostly the security.
Yeah, you
stuff?
got to get badged. You know, you go through a background test. You take a 2-hour like online test at one of their facilities, and you go get fingerprinted, and that's everything you have. But by the time you hire somebody, like it's such a tedious process to actually get them to your site because you have to go through all these things.
When you are someone who works gets badged to where you can like go on the tarmac and stuff, for instance, because not every employee can do stuff like that, right?
No.
But when you are one, do you have to be like a U.S. citizen or something, or is it?
That's a good question. I don't know if you have to be a U.S. citizen. I know that the process would probably take a lot longer.
If not,
Yeah.
especially if you're from somewhere like
Mm-hmm.
Iran or
Yeah.
Iraq.
I think we had an employee that was like Ukrainian at one point, or like was born there and now has lived here basically his entire life, and his took like over a month to get back.
Wow.
So there's probably something to that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
a lot more
Not
to look
impossible
into.
though. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like it's definitely going through some growing pains. They can't keep up. It's kind of busting at the seams. We were saying that in 2017.
Yeah, every year
And it just gets a little more crowded every time.
They like put some more Band-Aids on it, and there's like little bits of water still coming out.
I like it only because one of the big things I like it is the options of flying basically anywhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of
for
nice.
sure.
If we lived anywhere else, you know, you'd be taking lots of more layovers, which I hate layovers.
Yeah. I know. I feel like even like flying to the East Coast now just seems like so much harder than just going like 2 hours. Like we just went to Oregon and it was super easy.
Yeah.
Like just such a quick flight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
definitely, and no time change, which
that's
is
nice.
huge. Because like if you fly to the East Coast, it's like
It's brutal.
long, and then you also have the time change. So
Yeah.
it's like all day.
It's like you basically lost a day.
Yeah.
And there's so much room for storms in between there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it could literally be super sunny in both places where you're coming and going, and there'd be a storm in between.
Yeah.
And they're
We're
just
trying
like,
not to go.
we have to delay the flight
Yeah.
because of weather, and you look out the window and you're like, what?
Or
What
the worst
weather?
is it's like, I don't know, bad weather in Boston or something, and
Where your
that's where your
flight's coming
flight's
from.
coming from.
Yeah.
And then that gets all screwed up, and then suddenly now you're delayed. That's like the worst feeling.
For sure, because then you're just like, they're fucking with us. It's not actually weather, right? And then you see
Yeah.
all the other cancellations, and you, okay, maybe not.
So what were you guys up to in Oregon?
We were working with Visit Bend,
Yeah.
and just like spending the weekend there. But it was super smoky the
Oh,
whole
yeah,
time.
'cause of the fires up
It
there.
was really sad, but we did get like one day where it was nice.
Mm.
So we did some hiking, and we did this like work with this organization that, so basically there's a big river there, and their population has increased by like, I want to say like 300% or something crazy, kind of like Denver in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And so that river was like destroyed. Like people were just entering the river anywhere and like causing erosion, and like it was
Oh.
disgusting. So this organization like cleaned it all up. They, I think like in July they pulled out like 2,500 pounds of trash.
Whoa.
And then they like built access points and stuff. So we got to work with the lady and like pull weeds and stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah.
do you
but-
get to do they do like canoeing or rafting?
We
or
were
anything
going
like that?
to, but it was too smoky.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So, but you can. So that's what people
Oh.
do. Like they canoe and
Tubing and stuff?
Mhm.
That sounds
Yeah.
like
And
fun.
actually, there's even like a place where there's like class 3 rapids, and people surf and like
Oh.
kayak down little rapids. It's cool.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think they purposely created it on the river. They
Yeah.
created some kind of something under the water that creates a rapid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like a surfing rapid, so they can get in. It's like one of those constant wave pools, basically.
Yeah.
It
where
was
they could
crazy
just
to
get in
watch
and
them.
surf.
It was like
People were doing
insane.
it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, even in
Even
the
when it was
evening.
super smoky and like you're
Yeah.
not supposed to be outside, all these people were just like right there.
Oh no, that's something I'd like to try.
Really?
You ever
That
see those on the
scares
cruise?
me.
They're on
Yeah.
cruise
Looks
ships
hard,
too.
though.
And stuff. But it does
Yeah,
look
except
hard.
those are like 10 times like more intense than the cruise ship ones.
Oh
the
yeah.
rapids that they had.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Like
Yeah.
The
they
real
look
thing.
scary. Yeah.
It was funny being there because people were wearing masks outside, and it
Oh,
kind of
It
was for
reminded
the
you,
smoke,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the COVID times when people would do that. But yeah, it was weird because it's like the same. It's just like masks people had at home.
So
and they
that
put it
was
outside.
that was a couple weeks ago. Do you know, like, are they still?
It's better now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think it lasted like 1 to 2 weeks though.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, but then like it was all of Oregon and all of Washington, and then
Mm.
Canada, obviously.
Mm.
So it's just been really bad there this summer.
I'm surprised that Colorado hasn't had more.
I know.
Remember
It's
that
been
one
good.
year?
Yeah, it's been good
Mhm.
this year.
It was like
Mhm.
every week there was, like you just
It
couldn't
was
see the
something.
mountains. Yeah, and then sometimes it would be orange. The sky would just be orange.
Yeah.
I felt like half of summer was just in a
Yeah.
thick cloud of
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice not to have that. I wonder, do you guys think all the rain that we've had here
Probably.
has helped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it moist.
Mm.
Notice there was a couple days, I don't know, recently that was kind of humid out.
Really?
Yeah,
it
a
was
little
kinda
bit.
humid. It was like sweating.
We're finally going to your raid this weekend, so nothing better happen because we've
Yeah.
been wanting to go there for so long. Yeah.
What are you guys going to be doing
We're
there?
gonna do like some really cool hikes, and like off-roading and stuff.
Yeah.
So and
We're
car
gonna-
camping.
We're gonna drive the $1 Million Highway to Silverton
Yep.
because
Yeah.
we did part of it in the winter, but
Yeah, you can't really do that much in the winter.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do the
Because the
whole thing.
roads are bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they actually.
I think it's
closed it, right?
closed. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Because it's a
Yeah.
pretty dangerous.
elevated.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty high grade
Mhm.
road. So, yeah, it should be fun. We're gonna do some off-roading, which around there's like you could spend days and days off-roading around there. It'll be fun, and we're gonna car camp
Mhm.
because they're having the 50th annual. I don't know how to say this, so I apologize. Is it Imogene? Pass?
Imogene. Imogene.
there?
I think it's Imogene.
Imogene?
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
this?
It's a pass that goes from Uray to Telluride.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's a run.
Yeah.
People are running it.
It's like a trail
Yeah.
thing, type of thing?
I don't know if it's a
I
trail,
think
but
you
they're
can
making
drive
a
it.
trail. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you
I think it's just a
like, run
mountain
on the
pass, so
road.
they're
Oh.
doing like this huge race.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
they
So you guys are going to do
So.
that?
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
we're not.
no,
doing a
but
race.
everyone's staying in Uray the night before,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they run to Telluride, and I think then they stay there or something.
Maybe you'll see some people
Yeah,
running
we'll
outside
see.
running or something.
That'd be cool. We'll go off-roading on the road that they're
Offer
running.
them some snacks.
Water and
Yeah.
snacks. Yeah.
Just bring the most unhealthy snacks, like
Just alcohol too, like beer.
Yeah, shots of Fireball and donuts or something.
Cup of water. It's just pure vodka.
Yeah, you want some sour gummies?
I mean,
Yeah, should be a good time. We're gonna do those hikes that Sarah's been wanting to do forever.
mhm.
The ice lakes.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Nice.
Mhm.
Are those like fairly difficult
Yeah.
hikes?
Mhm.
Like how? Like
I feel like 9 miles maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. 9 each.
So
around
you
that.
so you do that and come back, or do you
Yeah.
stay out there?
No. Yeah. We don't know how to backpack yet.
Is that something that you want to get into?
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, you said yes. Miles said no.
yeah, I think that it would be fun, like not to do the crazy long ones, but just short ones, because
Yeah.
like then you can spend more time like at a lake or whatever and see it for
Mhm.
sunrise and then come back. You know.
So like a short one would be maybe like just overnight type of thing.
Yeah, just one night.
Yeah. Okay. Compared to like several days
Yeah,
or something.
I don't
like
think I
that.
want to do that because I don't really like camping for more than a night or two.
Yeah, those ones that are like 30, 40 miles that people can do
Mhm.
that are out like in the San Juan Mountains, and
Mhm.
people will do them. Like we saw over by Maroon Bells, we were hiking out there onto that
Yeah,
lake.
Dasha just said that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we were hiking out to the lake, and someone was coming back from the trek. Where is it from?
It's the Fort Pass or whatever.
Where does it start?
I don't know, but it's near Aspen, and it's like 4 mountain passes. It's like 40 miles, I think, in 3 days usually.
Yeah, and it looks amazing. Like if you're into backpacking, that's the advantage. You get to see those places that nobody else can see.
Yeah, like there was, for instance, I saw somebody. There's a plane wreck out somewhere in the Rockies, in Colorado,
interesting.
where
Yeah.
like in the, I don't know, maybe it was a lot. It was a long while
Yeah.
ago, but it crashed there, and then the military came back and found it and blew it up, just to like make sure nobody could take it or like do anything with
Yeah.
it. So
And
they
it's just
basically
out
just
there.
blow it
Yeah.
up. And so now you can see the whole wreckage site, and there's still like
That's crazy.
somebody found the pilot's helmet there and stuff. Like it's all still just sitting there, eroding away.
Wow.
But you wouldn't be able to get to it
Yeah.
or see it unless you did these
Right.
crazy backpack
That's
hikes.
like why I would want to do it is just like to go places you couldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too. So for instance, we were almost going to do Conundrum Hot Springs,
Yeah.
which is in pretty much the same area where you go out, you hike all day, you stay the night, there's hot springs there, and then you hike back. And yeah, that sounds amazing because of what you get to experience going there. And that's why I would want to do it. But for me, it doesn't sound fun to backpack. Like some people like to just go out in the wilderness,
Just
you know,
walk.
Yeah.
camp and do,
Definitely,
And like that doesn't sound fun to me. For me, it's like it's like a utility to experience things that you wouldn't normally be able to do.
Right.
And that's it.
There's got to be like a good payout.
Yeah.
I
Like
get
for me,
that.
I like hiking, so I'll go on hikes. You know, so like some people will do a hike because of just what they can see, but I like hiking. It's just fun to go. It's challenging, whatever. And like some people would say that about backpacking, but for me, backpacking is not the same. It's not fun.
You have
it
never
doesn't
done
seem
it.
fun. Doesn't seem fun. I've
Do you
camped
wanna
and I've
do
hiked.
at least once,
Yeah.
but just like maybe like a one-nighter type
Yeah.
of thing.
I would
Maybe
say
dip your toes into
yeah,
it.
like I would want to do the Conundrum Hot Springs
Yeah.
one, definitely.
Yeah, we did. We had everything ready. I mean, we
Yeah,
have a
we even packed our
backpacking tent and
backpacks.
stuff. Yeah, but then it rained out. Or
Yeah.
it thunderstormed out.
Oh, so you guys were gonna do it?
Yeah, we had
okay.
permits and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get to get a permit. What's the permit for?
There's
a
only
campsite.
it's a campsite
okay.
and only a certain amount of people can have them. So and it was like months in advance.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
snap.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's really popular.
I had a coworker that was into that, and he would
Into
just
getting
do
permits. or
No,
backpacking?
yeah, he just get all the permits he could. Didn't matter what or type.
Most like good backpacking things need permits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would make
because it's
sense.
wilderness area,
Yeah.
so that, they're trying to keep the number of
My
people
eyes
low.
twitching.
Everybody can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did like a 50-mile round trip one weekend, and I was just
Wow.
like, "How was that?" And he was like, "It was good."
One weekend.
Yeah, 1 week. It was
That's
it was a
crazy.
longer holiday
Yeah.
weekend, like this weekend.
Yeah, that is.
And yeah, I think it was like on average 18 miles a day or something
Yeah,
that's
crazy,
crazy.
like that, where you just that's all you
Yeah.
did was just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if I could do one like that. Maybe spread it over a few more days. Like when we did the trek in Peru,
Mhm.
I remember at the end just being like my knees and stuff were hurting so bad,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I was like, that was cool.
Yeah, I want to understand like the mindset during that trip. And so I remember asking him a bunch of questions about like how it was morale like high or low like towards the end, like
Yeah.
what was that like that last like 10 miles, what's going through your head? And he was like, yeah, it was pretty rough. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Oh, pretty rough.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's pretty rough.
I mean, I feel like any hike at the end, you're like ready to be done, no matter how long it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What, a 50-mile hike?
yeah, however long it is, like you're just ready to be done.
Yeah, I wonder what his thing was. Like, what was it for the backpacking, or just the walk, or did he go there to go see something? You know.
Probably a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
I imagine if you're that's what you're into. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of have to almost enjoy or relish in the journey of it to be able to get through something like that, I imagine. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I feel like I don't like things that are that painful, unless I don't know, like hiking. Sometimes longer hikes that'll be kind of painful when we're coming back down or something, and then I just think, why did we do this? Like, was it really that fun? And other
Yeah.
hikes I do, I'm like, oh, this was great, and I feel great afterward. Like we
Yeah.
did one the other day, and I felt fantastic after. And
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the ones that are painful, I'm just like, I don't know. Was it actually worth doing?
Yeah, it always is worth it.
Is
I
it?
mean, yeah. How often is it painful?
Well, I don't know. It depends on
Like
the
I'm
season.
only thinking about one hike that was painful.
Which
The
one?
one at Glacier, like when we
Oh,
had to walk
yeah.
4 miles down.
Sarah blew her knee out.
And it was really bad, but it
Oh,
was
I
still
thought it
so
carried
worth
her.
it. That was like one of the prettiest hikes we've ever done.
Yeah.
But I
It's
don't
about
know.
how you
I
remember
feel
it.
like it's all exactly. That's the thing. Like type 2 fun. Like it sucks like in the moment, but then after you're like, oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, like the trek we did in Peru, I had a splitting headache
Yeah.
almost the entire time. And I look back at it and I'm like, that was an amazing experience, but I probably would never want to do it again. That's how bad
Yeah.
it hurt.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't
Like,
get
that's
a
how
headache.
bad my headache was. I was just
Yeah.
like, I was miserable like most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And just because of my headache, maybe if I hadn't had the headache, it would have been
Yeah,
a much
I
better
didn't have a headache
experience.
and
Oh,
I
for
was
sure.
fine.
It can make or break your experience.
But
Yeah.
now it's like that. I just remember that pain and think back on it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I'm good. I'll stick to
That's
like
funny.
day hiking.
Because my knee was like hurting, but I like don't even remember that.
Really?
Fight through it, the pain.
Yeah.
I think I experience pain more than you.
Yeah. It's all about how you think about it, probably.
Yeah. Like if I get a cut on my foot, I'm like crying. Sarah will be walking around her house bleeding, and I'm like, "Why are you bleeding?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't notice."
Maybe I just don't have like pain receptors
Might
that
be.
work as well.
Yeah.
The high
Yeah, a high pain tolerance.
That's good for when
Maybe.
you have a baby, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it won't hurt as bad.
Some of the monks, that, for instance, like set themselves on fire, like self-immolation
Mhm.
in protest. I think they like fight through the pain, not fight through the pain, but have a mindset that allows them to like ignore the pain
Yeah.
a lot of the time. Some people say it's like a mentality,
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it.
mental toughness or something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, if you think about like how when your body experiences not physical but mental stressors
Mm-hmm.
and the way you feel, like when you feel anxiety and stuff, it's all kind of mental based on what you've heard or saw or whatever. But if you didn't see those things or hear those things, you would feel completely different, like almost physically or mentally completely different, right? And so you can change the way your body feels based on
Like what you think.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you
Yeah.
could just drink more water, right?
For
You know
what?
what
Yeah.
they say, everything.
Or drinking more water. makes
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
better. Probably.
Just drink more water and
Yeah.
it'll be good.
People tell me that. That's probably why I have it. No, I drink a lot of water before our trek. I still got it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like I like to challenge myself. Like I like when things are hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like I get bored if
I
things
understand
aren't
that.
hard.
Yeah, I agree. To a degree.
Like I'd rather do a hard hike than an easy hike.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but also I also could just be like, what's the word? Like not masochist, like the one that's like you inflict pain on yourself.
Oh.
The word. It's not like a masochist, is it?
Oh.
Is that like towards other people?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
What's that movie that I was on a kick on? Hellraiser. I think that's in that movie they explore
That's
that
funny.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, masochist.
Masochist. Maybe I'm just a masochist.
Self mortification is
Yeah.
the infliction of pain or discomfort on oneself.
I
what's
mean,
funny?
honestly, I like to be uncomfortable a little bit.
I don't know if
like I get bored otherwise.
I don't know if my computer's listening to us, but I started searching inflicting pain on yourself, and the first search was inflicting pain on yourself word.
Weird. Maybe people search that a lot.
Yeah,
It's like
probably.
a common. They forget.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting. I wonder what that's about for you.
I don't know. I think that it's because I feel accomplished when I get through it. Probably.
So it's about the gratification of accomplishing something hard.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
very common, I feel like.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, yeah. No,
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like a
I
lot of people
also-
are like that.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of people
I
aren't
have.
too.
Yeah, that's true. Like I feel like I don't really. I don't know. I think I just get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am never going to be someone who just like wants to lay on the beach all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
Like I do like that, but only if I've done something hard first. Because I
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, I want to do something.
A lot of people, like even some of like the people on podcasts that I've listened to, there's often the question of like, if there's advice that you would give young people, like that's a very common question for interviewers to ask, like famous people or very like, intelligent people. And I think there's quite a few answers out there that are along the same lines, like make sure you do something difficult every day or something
Interesting.
like that. Yeah, because
it's a fine line, though, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it teaches you something while you're doing it, and also there's like that dopamine that you receive at the end where you're like, I did it. I feel good about that. There's some people like to be productive too.
Yeah,
like they
for
get
sure.
They self-reward by being productive in a way.
Do people say that so that because it makes it easier for you to get through challenges in life, or what's the point of them saying do something difficult every day?
I think a lot of older people, because this is coming from a lot of like more mature, accomplished people. I think they're worried about newer generations becoming lazy and not pushing themselves because everything nowadays is so easy to get access to. So you don't really have to work for anything.
Yeah.
Kind of like
I
mentality.
think it teaches you like things. It gives you like confidence because you accomplish things that you thought you never could,
Yeah,
So,
it could give you like self-worth.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit better about yourself.
like also just like learning how to be bad at things and just like keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's like a skill, I think.
Yeah, I feel like
Because a lot of people just give up. You know?
I feel like a lot of people who, I think it's like a general notion that a lot of people are losing their spirituality these days. Like it's become less religious and move away from denominational organized religion is like a lot of depression. I think some mental health issues could stem from not having a purpose in your life. And sometimes people find purpose in religion, there's like callings and raising family and things like that. And as we become a different type of species in that aspect, I feel like a lot of people lose their purpose. And so doing something hard gives you that momentary purpose. And so, at least for me, I mean, I identify in that kind of way.
Yeah.
In some aspects, for
You're
sure.
also a masochist. No, just
Yeah, Ow. Feels good.
And under Merriam-Webster dictionary, there's uses of the word self-mortification, and
It's such a funny word.
Yeah.
Jonathan Goldstein said, "I was a well-oiled self-mortification machine. That is a teenager."
What?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think also though, like I know there's like a trend on TikTok, like how you like need to be delusional a little bit in order to accomplish things.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like doing hard things can kind of like give you that like delusional confidence.
Do people say that because you kind of self-doubt yourself, like you say, oh, I could never do that, but if you're delusional,
You try, and then
you're like, oh, I could totally do that.
The thing is like, yeah, anybody can do anything. You just have to like believe in yourself, and if you keep trying, like
even if it's
there's
crazy, like
no,
crazy, right?
Yeah. Like
like how far does that go though? Because like then I could be like, I could fly
No.
and then jump off the
That's
building.
not no.
Reasonable.
Yeah,
within reason.
reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Like,
think a lot of people give up
adhering to the
easily.
laws of physics.
I'm like,
But
I can
besides-
do this. I'm psyching myself out. I can do this, and then I just run and jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know people who like try out something and they give up way too easily.
Right.
I think that advice goes out to those people who are like, just stick with it a little longer. Maybe that's the delusion you need to get past some of the bigger hurdles that,
Yeah.
if you get over it, provide success or some sort of value.
It's really easy to do with working out. I feel like, especially like for instance, we did a leg workout together the other day. And it's one of those where it's short breaks, so it's really painful because you do like a wall sit, for instance, and like wall sits hurt really bad.
Yeah.
And they're really, really hard to keep sitting there. You want to just get up so badly, and it's counting down the time. You get to 5 seconds left, and you're like, I can't do it. But then you push yourself through the 5 seconds. And I feel like people who need more like discipline in like accomplishing things should do workouts
Right.
like that, because even though it could be easy to get, stop doing, but if you do it with a buddy or something, I feel like doing those types of things, you get through the pain and you're like,
Yeah.
I did it. I could do it. I could have just given up.
Yeah.
Like I could have given up with 10 seconds left, but I actually could do it and I did it.
Yeah. Like snowboarding, like it came a lot easier to you. And like I was really bad at it. And like I just kept doing it and now I can do it. But I never thought that I would have been able to do that at the beginning because I was like so scared,
Has this type of mentality helped grow your Instagram business?
Yeah, for sure. Because like there was like 6 months probably to a year. I don't remember when we started making money exactly.
Yeah, it was a while.
But yeah, like where you just have to like be consistent like almost every day.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
you don't see any reward and you don't know if it's going to work.
And just keep going, keep
Yeah.
going, keep
Like
going.
literally anybody could grow on Instagram if you stuck with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
like
just
it's
dedicate
not like
the
I'm
time.
special. Yeah.
You don't know what the outcome really
Right.
is, because people don't really know. Like you can get an idea of how much money you can make or what
Yeah.
opportunities you'll have and stuff, but
Mhm.
you don't really see the full picture, because everyone's different.
Yeah.
Every niche is different, like what opportunities you can have. So I think that was one thing. It was like what you think that is going to be the
Mhm.
outcome versus like you don't know. So you're just
Yeah.
thinking and you're hoping. And then the other thing is that you're constantly pushing and just hoping that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
Luckily for me, it did happen pretty quickly though. Like I don't know if I would have stuck with it. Like even though it's still a long time, like it's relatively fast, I think, compared to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Like some people have been doing this for years, like
Yeah.
consistently and still haven't like grown. So I
Mm.
do feel like there is some luck involved, like right place, right time sort of thing. Like it is just like snowboarding. It's going to be easier for some people than others, but anybody, if they kept at it, could do it,
Right.
and I think you have to have a passion for it too.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people see what like Sarah's done
Right.
and think, oh, I want to do that. Then it seems pretty easy, but like take it from me. Yeah, I like doing the traveling. I like getting paid money and getting cool things and opportunities, but I really don't like and because
Creating
I'm
the
not that good at
content
it.
stuff.
I'm just really not good at it. It's not
I
my
think
skill
that's
set.
not what it is, but you just don't like it that much.
Yeah, I'm not that passionate about
Yeah.
it. And so I would be bad at it. Like I
Yeah.
could try it, but I would be someone who would fail at it because that's not what I'm passionate about. And Sarah is very passionate about it. That's what I think some people may not understand is
Yeah.
she doesn't just go out and film things and then like spend a few minutes editing it and
I
posting
used to do
it.
that.
To a degree, yeah.
Sometimes.
But it takes a lot of thought into
Yeah.
like what you're kind of like what you're wanting to say, what your story is
Yeah.
about each post, and what you're going out to film, and taking into
Mhm.
account like your impact on society and the environment and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And someone who's passionate about it will keep doing that even if you haven't gotten the return yet. Whereas I think people who won't will give up pretty
Yeah.
quickly, or even do it for a while and still not make it and then give up.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
know so many people who wouldn't stick out with something like that long
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
it doesn't like return something to you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or if
Yeah.
it does and then it stops returning, there's also things with social media or being an influencer or whatever where it's like it's not always consistent, just like any business.
Yeah.
You don't always have consistent business, so you're constantly feeling like, oh, is this the end? Like, did companies go
Yeah.
away? Did people stop watching things on the internet? And you have to persevere through that too,
Yeah.
because that's a difficult challenge to get through.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the power of passion, right?
Yeah.
Is that drive, that almost that boost that you get where it doesn't, if it like somebody else who doesn't have that won't necessarily have it. So you don't need that
Right.
return, that pat on the back at the end of the day in order to keep going, because all you have is your passion,
Yeah.
and that's good enough for you just to keep going.
I think like the thing that's most important to me is like making stuff that I like and like I'm proud of, because like there are people out there who have like hundreds of thousands of followers, and I've seen them grow, like who just like you can tell that they're just like not passionate about it, and they're just posting like dumb, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
memes and things that aren't
like
really
stuff
that
to go viral though, because
effective.
like once you've been doing it long enough, like you know it will go viral. Like for example, like if I were to post like locations in Colorado, like that would probably go viral, but like that's not what I want to build my business on, you know what I mean? But there are people who do that just because like they want to make money, so that is kind of annoying too. But I do think brands like now more than ever, and people are like valuing authenticity more. And the hard part is like that's not necessarily what does go viral, but the people who see it at least like feel more, you know what I mean?
Connected
Like
to it.
for example, we had a
for
brand
sure.
deal like with this like bruise cream, and the reel like did horrible. Like 11,000 views is like really not good for us, and that's how many it got. And then like a couple of weeks later, the brand was like, "We like you were the best post of the year. Like you guys boosted sales so much." And I'm like, "Really? Like what the hell?" But it's because like, well, it's because like of the people who saw it, they actually like trust us and like could tell like it's authentic. You know what I mean?
Like low attrition or what we call it.
It's like a high
Conversion.
engagement for the people.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a
Oh,
difference.
conversion.
So it's like, I also feel like I've learned a lot about marketing through this, and like it's funny
could you
because like the people who like are doing the brand's marketing, like sometimes I'm like, you're just wrong, like, but so like, you know, some brands only want views, and if you're getting like 200,000 views but the product is like not talked about very much, or like it's just not, you know, there's no trust in that person, then it could do worse than like an 11,000 view video, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think brands are like starting to understand that more, and that's why they're working with like less like micro influencers, as you call them.
Yeah.
What have you ever made something or spent a lot of time on something and like didn't like the outcome and just like scrapped it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
She has like hundreds of drafts in her Instagram.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the like when I make a video that I'm really proud of, usually it does do well. And sometimes it doesn't, but I still like am happy with it. It's when I just like throw stuff out there and it does horrible that I'm like I just delete it. I'm like, damn, why did I put that out?
Oh yeah.
You
just
know?
go and remove it all.
Yeah,
altogether.
sometimes if I like, cause sometimes like you have to be consistent, right? And sometimes I have nothing planned and I'll just like throw something together that I'm like not proud of, but I'm just like, I want to post something.
Oh, gotcha.
And
But
then
it's
it
not
like
that
doesn't
often,
do.
though.
Yeah, it's
Because
not
also,
that often.
It's also negative when you remove things from
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh,
for
really?
instance.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you said that, I was like, do you get rewarded for posting something on a regular basis?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you just threw something out there just to like feed the algorithms, like
yeah,
so to
that's
speak,
what
whatever.
you have. Yeah. Sometimes
If you
have to do
remove
that.
it though, does it like is the
I don't know.
Does it out? Yeah,
Could
it's
be.
hard
No
to know.
one
right?
knows, and like some people don't.
Do you
post,
have the secret to the
Yeah.
algorithm?
Right, and it's so different for everyone. Like some people don't post for 3 weeks and like do fine, and some people take 3 weeks off and never recover from that.
Wow.
It's like completely different for everybody. So
That's so interesting.
it's so weird.
Yeah, with the like conversion, or I guess kind of like engagement, you'll see people who like big influencers that you know who have like millions of followers will have the same amount of comments that we do on a post sometimes.
Yeah.
Like on a post that does pretty well, even though we have like this tiny amount of relative views as they have on their posts.
Yeah.
And like that's not that they're having a huge impact, much larger than we are, but like those I think it's like a much smaller portion of their followers are, or people seeing their thing are actually being the ones who buy the things that they're promoting or following the messaging that they're putting out there.
The good thing is like I feel like I have learned how to create content, so like even if our views like or our page like got destroyed, I still have skills that I could like market for brands and stuff, since I know like how to create good content now. So because it actually like looking back at like what I used to post is like funny. Like it was just so bad, like compared to now, you know?
That should be in everything that you do.
For sure. Yeah.
I often cringe about things that I've made like professionally or personally. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, what was I thinking?
Sometimes they go look
Almost all
back at
the
code.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's good. If you're not cringing at your
for
past,
sure.
then you haven't grown, you haven't moved on, you haven't improved as a professional or person, or, you know, I have so many things that I've said or, you know, conversations that I've had with people that I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I even say that? Like, and so even like the next day, you're like, God.
If you guys listen to your first podcast, no.
Oh
just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, exactly. Totally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at my intros. Just saying. Yeah.
There's like that 1,000-hour to become an expert in something like that. That always gets thrown around. I think there's, a lot of truth to that. Just the more time you spend on something, you'll hone in and become better. If you don't, maybe move on to something.
Yeah. But what's interesting with Instagram, what's like
exactly.
kind of messes with your head with Instagram though, is like some videos that I made a long time ago that were like noticeably worse, like did better just because like once you have more followers, things actually don't do as well because you have like a less niched audience. So it's not going to appeal to as many of them, you know? So then you're like, was that really worse than like what I made before? Because I know it's better, but it did worse.
It's like what Miles was just saying about like those 2 million follower accounts. I'm sure that's how they've suffered as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just part of it. But
also, the algorithm could have been different back then.
Yeah, right now it's like favoring voiceovers and like
yeah. I think they started using AI now.
Really?
I think I have this feeling because I think Instagram's gotten worse at its
recommendations.
Recommendations. Actually, you said that a couple of podcasts ago.
Well, you know me, I used TikTok forever and then I quit it and then I'm on Reels now and
it's not good.
The quality of it is not it's not even close to how good TikTok's recommendation algorithm is.
And they're trying to be more like TikTok, but it's not, like it's just making it worse, honestly.
Yeah. For instance, and this is something I think TikTok like has gone through before. I think it happens to them all. But for instance, Sarah once sent me a lot of people who do a lot of drone work. They'll post reels on, hey, try doing this move with your drone, and it'll make a cool shot, like like a going out like sideways, whatever. They'll show you on the controls how to do it. And I watched it, and then I went to my Explore page like a couple days later. And over half of all the recommended things on my Explore page, like the first panel of it, there's like 12 different videos or posts on there, were all drone things.
They're like, you love
right, because you
now.
And I was like, I like so many other things. I've watched one drone video, and why are half of the things being recommended to me?
They need to be a little more subtle.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
They shoved it in my face.
They did. And then that becomes annoying. And it's a bad experience for sure. I experienced that a little bit on TikTok, I'll be honest though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that as much when I was using it for a while, and then I remember at some point it started doing that, and I was like, this is really frustrating. I don't want to see these things over and over and over.
I wonder if it's like a fluidity of like maybe you haven't liked some content in like a week or so or an X amount of time, and so it's like, okay, how do we get him engaged? And they suddenly just like pull the lever, just to try to get you to get more engaged, and it's the wrong it's like, oh, I don't want 50 videos on drones. But what if you did? And they were like, gold, baby, we did it.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't want to have to like press any buttons, and I want that algorithm to know which videos I liked and which ones I didn't. Right? Based on whatever, like how long I watched it or left it on. I want them to notice when I put my phone down and I'm not actually watching the video and it played 10 times. I didn't actually like the video. It's because it played 10 times. Yeah. They need to be able to figure that out. They need to figure out when I got baited into watching a video, right? It actually ended up being stupid.
I feel like for creators, like it doesn't make any sense. Like there's this like Instagram coach guy, and he has like 600,000 followers, and he used to get like hundreds of thousands of views, and then all of a sudden now he gets like 20 to 40K, which is like barely any percentage of his following. So it's like Instagram does that to large creators a lot. Yeah. And it's like so fucked up.
YouTube does that as well. I've heard a lot of people who are like, I used to get X amount of followers a month. Now I get like maybe
that's
less than 10% of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like,
it's almost like, how does that, it's just hard because it's like, if I was getting more views when we had like 30,000 followers, now like how am I charging more to brands? But then I'm like, okay, like we can create better quality, and like we have people who have followed us longer. So I try to justify it, but it's hard.
It's weird because it's almost like mining for gold back in the old West, where you'd hit like just the jackpot, and then you move over because you're done with that, and then suddenly there's no gold, and then you hit it again. You know, there's like this roller coaster.
It is. That's
of
what it is. Yeah.
Weird trying to figure out where the gold is in the algorithm. I think your
the
camera
battery?
just died, Miles. Bum bum bum. Yeah, no, it's definitely weird.
Yeah.
I don't.
Definitely.
One day we're all gonna figure it out, the algorithm.
Well, didn't Miles tell you about the group that I made for creators?
Mm-mm.
So I'm friends with a lot of creators now. So I made this little group, and there's like almost 100 of us in there now, and we all talk about like brands and the algorithm and like all this crazy stuff.
It's
so
like
that's
a union
nice.
of creators.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's nice because at least like, you know, you don't really have like coworkers or anything when you're doing it, and like you're like, am I crazy? Like this is happening today. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So
so,
now they're,
there's like you can talk to people about it.
They're verifying your suspicions or confirming.
Yeah,
your
and it's
suspicions.
nice because we can be like, oh, like, has anyone worked with this brand? And
Okay.
we like share our experience and stuff.
So like how many of people are in this
Like
coalition?
almost 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
So you started this?
Yeah, I started the
Wow.
group. Yeah. But I'm not like a leader in it or anything. Everyone's pretty much just, you know.
Is this on like Instagram?
It's Geneva. It's like a group chat. It's like WhatsApp kind of,
Oh,
but you can have like
interesting.
rooms. So we have like different topics and stuff.
Oh, kind of like this Discord
yeah,
or any of
probably.
those other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that.
So yeah, it's cool. 'Cause then you can be like, I don't know, feel less crazy.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of uncertainty going in it.
Yeah.
feeling alone.
And there's just certain things that like you don't understand unless you're doing it too. So
100% in anything really.
yeah, for sure.
But that especially, I'd imagine. So you guys have gone to a bunch of places this year. What is or where is your favorite place that you've gone?
You go first.
Probably Alaska.
Yeah.
I
I think Alaska or Canada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Banff.
even hard to
Canada
remember
was like
where
a
we've been.
personal trip. Yeah. And that was just like a bucket list kind of trip for us, and just like probably the prettiest place we've ever been.
Yeah.
And then Alaska was just like the craziest experience that we never would have had on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just really cool that we got to do that. We got to like fly in a helicopter to this remote lodge where we were like one of 7 guests.
Wow.
And it was like all inclusive, and like we were the only people in the national park essentially. So it was so crazy.
Yeah. It was, and then we took one of those little planes and flew around
Yeah.
Denali, which is the largest mountain in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it was like just an insane experience that, like, I don't know, I can't even describe it.
Yeah.
Just seeing massive glaciers that are like miles long,
Yeah.
and these crazy peaks, like jagged ice snow covered peaks, like no one around. It was just insane. And I think that even the helicopter out to the lodge and back, you see some of the mountains out there. It's just like wilderness that you wouldn't see
Yeah.
like that close up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And like
even
it
if
was
you're on a
just
plane,
so like untouched. Like where
Yeah.
we were, like
Mhm.
there wasn't any trails. There was like one trail, which was actually the original mountaineering route to climb Denali.
Oh no.
So we got to like walk that. But other than that, there was no trail. So you just walked on the tundra, as they call it. And it was like all squishy because it's like there's permafrost underneath. So it's like frozen and it's like a little wet.
Oh, so it's like thawing
So
it a little bit.
yeah, so like you're just stepping and it's squishy, and there's like wild blueberries everywhere, and you can just like stop and eat
Yeah.
the wild blueberries. Like
Yeah.
it was just like
Would they taste good?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of them weren't.
hey, if you get a rifle, yeah, it's
But
crazy. It's like
it was, like, insane.
you're an animal out there just walking
And like
around.
nobody,
eating
and
berries.
like, yeah, me and Miles are reading this really interesting book right now. It's called Billionaire Wilderness, and Jackson Hole, I'm probably but it's like the richest county in the U.S. and that's for a few reasons. But where was I going? Oh yeah, so one is that it's pretty there, obviously.
Yeah.
One is that there's no income tax, and then the other is it's because it's next to 2 national parks, they can't develop the land. So it's like just a unique, like the people, it makes land
So
really
you can't
valuable.
add more housing.
You
Right.
can't add more
It's
housing.
exclusive.
So then like it just brings up the points of like, if you have money, like you have access to these like exclusive areas, and it's talking about like its natural environments and like the morals of that and stuff. And it made me think of our trip a little bit, like, because it was like $1,600 a night per person, and like that's obviously not accessible for everybody. And because Denali had a rock slide, like you can't even drive back there, like nobody can access it. That's why no one was back there. So yeah, it's just interesting.
It's a cool notion, because it does fly in the face of like what people normally expect nature to be like, somewhat an inexpensive vacation compared to like some of the others, where like camping is like the cheapest form of staying somewhere where it's not where you don't live. And so to the complete inverse of that, meaning like the gatekeeping of like of wilderness is so kind of bizarre when you compare the two notions together.
Yeah, I don't know, it made me think of that. But that being said, I'm really glad we did it.
Yeah.
Because, we couldn't, it was like, we probably would not have paid for that because it was like so expensive, but it was really cool.
Yeah, but somebody will.
Yeah, somebody
like
will.
people who have the ability to go do it. It's an insane
the fact
experience.
that our like work has enabled us to do that for free is really cool.
Yeah. I think that, there's so many places like that out in the US where it like you can go to Utah and go camping, like you were saying, really, really cheap. And there's places out there that are insane.
Yeah. Like the wilderness, the true wilderness.
Yeah. and I think that's like what they call Wyoming, which is like the last true wilderness or whatever. Or maybe they call Alaska that. It's one
the
of
last
them.
frontier.
Last frontier.
That's Alaska. Yeah.
That's Alaska. Okay. And it's really true.
Yeah.
It's actually true. There's places you can go where there's just no there's there's not even other people that you can go.
I mean, even just when we were kayaking in this like massive lake, there's just like no one around you for miles. It just feels so crazy, like we have been in situations like that in Utah, but at least we knew where the next town was. But in Alaska, like there was no town.
Yeah.
Like
it was like miles and miles away. Yeah.
You ever watch that show?
No, I know of it though.
They're like,
Is it the reality show?
Yeah, it's a reality show. It's like a competition of who can withstand the wilderness for longer. Yeah. It's interesting. Some people make it pretty long. Some people don't.
Yeah. We did. We had a cast calling or whatever. Somebody that emailed us for one of those shows
about like surviving in the Alaskan wilderness during the winter.
Yeah.
But it was like you only got $100,000 if you won, and I was like, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like if it was like $1 million.
I think you had to give them like 3 months of your time.
Yeah.
I guess if you're really good at that type of thing, then maybe you're.
But they're not casting people who are good.
That's
like,
true.
They're casting people like us, like who.
They don't want it to be boring.
Yeah.
They want it to be super interesting. People like complaining the entire time and like doing ridiculous
but that's
shit.
why I'm glad that we have done the Instagram though, because like that's like just like a normal experience for us when it wouldn't have been.
So you said your favorite. Do you concur? Do you have anything different you would say?
Yeah, I think opportunity wise, Alaska probably. Just trip itself wise, probably the Canada trip as well. I have one gripe about that.
How crowded
area. It's like very.
Like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Super busy.
Yeah, it's too it's like too built up, I think.
Yeah, it's very commercialized in areas. Yeah.
And it's probably a pretty popular time to go, I imagine, because you guys went in
the end of June. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like peak.
Yeah, but it's still like you're not gonna see that, anywhere. It's also another thing. Like we paid a lot of money to stay at like the lodge there on this like super famous lake.
It's like on every other postcard you see, there's this lake.
And they actually made it so that you can't drive your personal vehicle there this year. So the only way to access it is with a bus or like a tour. Or if you stay at the lodge, you can drive your vehicle. So like, again, like the money gives access kind of thing. Like we also did it there. But.
Yeah, because it was like $900 something per night, and like most people can't afford that.
Yeah,
totally.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting how people or organizations handle the crowdedness. Like Marin Bells does the reservation system now because it got too crazy there.
Which is good though, because it's like if it's too many people, then it's really bad for the environment and just like the experience.
And the animals.
Yeah,
it's an actual wilderness.
Yeah,
like that's what it's labeled as, that area.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, that makes sense. You got to try to I think it was like Hanging Lake was
Mhm,
completely
same
shut
thing.
down
Yeah.
for like 2 years almost.
Yeah, that was because
Just
of the
for-
mudslides and the wildfires, though.
Yeah.
But now, like,
But they
they
took
have
the
really good,
opportunity to
yeah,
build
which was good,
infrastructure that
and they
they
have
were
really good
needing.
infrastructure now. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Like, yeah, I feel like it's really nuanced. Like, where is okay to share and where isn't, just
Oh, yeah.
based on like Hanging Lake now, like they have a ranger at the trailhead who literally like tells you like stay on trail, don't go on the log, like pack out your
Mhm.
trash. Like they hired someone who's always there telling you that, which is like really good infrastructure.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine to share, but some places like you just shouldn't, you know.
Yeah, some people, you guys got a little bit of heat from some people, right? That like just get upset at you for
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
people get upset about it, even though like I only share places that have infrastructure. Like people
Yeah.
just think you shouldn't even share like a state. Like
Mm.
I once just like
Hey guys,
only
America.
said Colorado, and people were like saying like
Stop
don't.
telling people where this is.
Yeah, I'm like people know that this exists, this state exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, even people will assume a lot of things. So like they'll assume that maybe you like the photo you took, you used a drone in the national park or something, even though you didn't.
Oh yeah, right.
Or like at Hanging Lake, people got mad at us because like a lot of people don't know that there's a waterfall, like not the Hanging Lake waterfall, but there's another one right before it that you can go kind of, it's like behind
Yeah.
it, and you can go behind it, underneath it. And we had, one of the clips was, I think, me standing there like behind the waterfall, and people thought that we went behind the Hanging Lake one where you're not allowed to go.
You can't even physically do that, which is funny. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
So
yeah.
we'll get stuff like that, and then it's
Just
just like
ignorant people.
like, you don't.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, gatekeepers, which is like, yeah, that kind of goes along with like the wealth thing, like people closing off
Mhm.
public lands
Yeah.
because they have the money to do it, versus people closing off public lands because they don't want other people to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's so interesting, the value of information. Like a lot of stuff that's on the internet now that's like just shared by people willing to give up that information, like a secret to something or a hack to something or like best practices of whatever you can think of. There's a lot of people who won't share that information because it either somehow makes them feel like they're losing value in what they already have. Like they're, the information they have shouldn't be for free because I obtained it by, working X amount of hours, and I'm not going to share it with you unless you go through the same tribulations. But yeah, what kind of information is not on the internet that like should be, but isn't because of the gatekeeping aspect,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the gatekeeping is somewhat justified. Like there's a lot of it's like kind of secret hot springs, for instance, and it would be pretty detrimental
like places
to those,
that don't have facilities.
yeah,
And
to those hot springs. Like they'd probably get destroyed. But I mean, people make mistakes. The more people you have, the more mistakes are going to be made. Like I bring this example up a lot, but at Delicate Arch in Arches National Park, you were there. Do you remember how it slopes down? Like you kind of walk across this slope down,
Yep.
and people were constantly dropping things. Like kids
Water
were walking
bottles
across.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, anyone could make that mistake. Like,
Yeah.
like any of us could have done it too. We could have just accidentally it slipped out of our hand, and it's just, the more people who are going to that spot, the more it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
You probably shouldn't have thrown your Budweiser bottle
yeah,
down
probably
there.
not.
That's really messed up of you to do that.
But the national park knows this. They have people to be able to manage those things. I'm sure they go down there and they clean that
Totally.
stuff out. Like they get funding for it. But like a small hot spring or a cool hike or whatever that doesn't have those kind of resources, the more people going there, the more mistakes are going to be made. People who don't know that you can't throw your orange peels, things like that, and it will just become destroyed. And like places will go through growing pains too. Like not everything. Like there were Delta Lake is a good example, or
Where's
even
that?
Hanging Lake. But Delta Lake is in Grand Teton National
but it's
Park.
like an unmaintained trail.
Yeah, it's unmaintained. I think it's still unmaintained, but it used to be a secret lake that like really people didn't know before
Yeah.
it was popular on the internet. It was just kind of word of mouth. Like, oh, there's this really cool blue lake. It's
Now
one of
it's
the,
like super
it's
popular.
one of the most
Yeah.
accessible ones you could get to. And yeah, it became really popular, and it's it's like it will be improved over time. The trail will, I'm sure at some point they will make an official trail for it, and it will be accessible. And like, it's really cool that people can go see that lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's cool that they can go to Grand Teton. They can hike to that lake. That's awesome. But in between the time when it was a secret and what it is now, what it's going to be in the future, there's like that growing pain there. But it's going, like, it has to happen eventually, right? Like, the more people spread that kind of thing, it's going to happen. There's more and more people in the world. People want to explore. People get more and more down.
I also feel like one thing I have noticed is like my friends who don't hike very often, or like, you know, they'll visit from Florida, they don't really know like what to do outdoors. So I feel like if you do encourage people to spend more time outdoors, like, you just kind of learn things naturally. Like, we've learned so much, like, as we've continued to hike. So I feel like that's another thing. Like, you're kind of encouraging people to go explore and then develop their own like respect for the outdoors, you know, rather than like, nobody should be able to visit here. Like,
well, and slowly spreading people there. Like, maybe you post some videos or photos about it, but you don't really say where it's at. But if people ask you, you'll tell them. And it's like, versus someone like a big influencer posting something, saying where something is that doesn't have infrastructure, and then a lot of people are now going to go there versus maybe just the people who, you know, who actually went and asked for the information. It's like more of like a trickle increase versus a massive increase of people.
Did you guys see that article about some guy's truck getting stuck up in one of the trails up in the Rocky Mountain National Park?
No.
And the sheriff was like, yeah, don't be an idiot like these people,
really?
Because now their car is stranded up there and they can't get it out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So did they go on a trail they weren't supposed to go on?
I guess there was a situation where their car shouldn't have been up there.
I think it was closed. I think it was
Was it closed?
It was like an off-roading trail. I think that it was closed.
Yeah.
And they didn't know, or they didn't like look before.
Maybe
and
it's
then
just
went.
ignorance. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that if it's the same one, because I heard about something like that recently. Yeah, they went and they got stuck. Yeah.
So the sheriff went to Twitter and posted a photo and just went on a rant about how much of it, like, don't be like this guy type of post.
Yeah.
Because now, like, how do you get that car out of there?
Yeah. You gotta use like one of those quadcopters.
Either that or another like beef up off-roading vehicle that can basically just pull it out brute force. You know.
Yeah, if they can do that, like maybe it's on a cliff or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of those are sketch.
That's crazy.
You're gonna have to get the military to come out and blow it up like that.
Yeah. Nobody needs this truck anymore.
Man, there's that RAV4 that just from 2023.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yo, you know, there was it was in Canada. The guy who, remember the bus? Like, he went out and you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
He wrote some diary. He left some diary. He ended up dying in the woods in that bus. You remember we went to that brewery and they had the replica bus? Yeah, in Alaska, not in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, Alaska.
Yeah.
What's the story called?
Into the Wild, right?
Oh yeah.
You know about that?
I've seen that movie.
And so people started going to where the guy like got lost.
Yeah.
Just to reminisce, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And they actually took the bus out of where it was, I believe, because too many people were going and it was causing issues. Like, I don't know, people were getting lost or whatever, and they were which is, I think it's crazy. Like the management had to go and remove something from the wilderness because people wanted to go see it and we're also getting lost.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what if they found him?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, like years later.
Did they find him? Did they find
I don't know.
his body?
I didn't
I think
see
he got
it.
eaten by a bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know.
I should have had bear spray.
Misspoken, but yeah, coulda, shoulda had it. You guys saw a few bears in Canada
we did.
trip,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Something like that.
9
Yeah,
of them?
we saw it in like the first couple of days, and then we didn't see a single one the
Yeah.
rest because
we were in the less crowded
Yeah.
area. Like Jasper is a national park there, and
Mhm.
it's actually not crowded. There's a lot of backpacking you can do there, but they have more grizzlies, which is interesting.
There was a grizzly at our hotel,
yeah.
like
Just
at our hotel.
Oh,
And-
it was chasing after some elk, I think.
Yeah, and
Oh
there
my
were people
God.
sitting outside and they had to come inside. And then we were eating at the restaurant at the hotel, and everybody, like all the people in the restaurant, were just crowded at the window, like watching the
Watching
bear.
it, yeah.
'Cause no one would go
It
outside.
was funny.
Yeah.
It was,
would
and
bet
it
that.
was huge. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's just a small female." And I was
Yeah.
like, "That's the biggest bear I've ever
Big.
seen."
Yeah, those grizzlies, they can get
They're
so
scary.
big, huh?
That was the only grizzly we saw, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something we learned is in what's that island in Alaska called? Klondike? No.
Oh,
That's the
Kodiak.
Kodiak.
Klondike.
Kodiak beer.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I know. That's why I thought of it because it has bears on it, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What is Klondike? That's
It's a Klondike bar.
It's
like,
an ice cream
yeah, I know,
treat.
I
but
don't know.
I think it's from
Let's look it
something
up.
else.
Klondike, yeah, probably.
But I think it's Kodiak bears are actually even larger than grizzly bears. They're not technically grizzly bears, or what we read, and those things are like
The Klondike is a region in the Yukon in Canada.
Okay.
in Canada.
That makes sense. Like probably northern Canada.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like frozen because I feel like why would they name ice cream bars after?
Yeah.
Because a lot of Canada is just like tundra, right? Like
Mhm.
north, the
Yeah, like the
northern.
Arctic.
Yeah. You
Which-
guys, I've said this before, but you've seen like the little like map diagram of like most of the population
Yeah.
lives below like the U.S. border.
Mhm.
That's crazy. It still blows my mind.
Yeah, it does because you always think of Canada being like way out there, like
Yeah.
everyone just wears Eskimo clothing, and then you learn that most of them live in like Toronto and like.
What were you
south
saying
of-
about Kodiak though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so the bears, they're massive. They're like even bigger than grizzly bears.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the biggest type of bear? Or
Yeah,
something?
they are. I think they're the biggest type of bear. Yeah.
I wonder what's the largest Kodiak bear that's ever been like
Yeah.
recorded, like lengthwise.
should look
Oh,
at it.
I think they're the second behind polar bears.
Mm,
I think
yeah,
that's what it
polar
was.
bears.
Polar bears are lanky.
Yeah, I really want to go to Kodiak or Katmai National Park. You can like
Yeah.
see bears eating salmon in the water.
Oh wow, that'd be super fun. Miles has got
Yeah, here
pictures
we
of Oh, I'm gonna pull it up.
So
There it
I don't
is.
know why they don't have a grizzly in here, but yeah, so you can see.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
Oh
polar.
my gosh.
This is the Kodiak. They don't really look friendly either. Like grizzly bears actually look kind of friendly.
No,
they
they
have the
don't.
big fluffy ears. They're
It's
really
kinda-
cute. They look like a teddy bear.
It kind of looks like a teddy. Yeah.
Like black bears kind of don't
They're
look like a teddy
cute.
bear.
have you ever seen a hairless black bear? Miles, pull
Where
that
did
up.
you see that?
Dude, on the internet,
Oh.
it's the creepiest thing. I'm like, put the hair back on, please.
Why doesn't it have hair?
Look at him,
It looks like Yoshi.
Oh, I have seen that before actually.
right? It looks like what's
That's
that?
so
What's
crazy.
the rat's name in Ninja Turtles? Striker. I can't remember. People are gonna hate me for not knowing this, but it looks kind of like an ancient, wise, old like
It's so
creature.
nasty.
It looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah, a little bit. Wrinkly.
Oh my god.
Oh
What?
my god, it's kind of creepy. It
Oh.
almost looks like a dog. Like in a
After
way.
you see it, you're like, damn, I'm not afraid of that anymore.
It kind of looks like a golem almost.
That's funny.
Have you ever seen a hairless cat?
Of course, yeah.
With a
It
ball
kinda reminds- yeah, probably. Why are we pulling this up? They're kind of cute though.
Yeah,
Don't they kinda look
are.
the same as the
Aw,
bears?
That's
Ah,
cute.
looks-
Aside
Yeah,
from the ears?
The wrinkles of the skin definitely is giving.
We saw one at a cat cafe in Canada, in Quebec, and it had a ball sack. So like Sarah's trying to hold it, and like in the photos, you just see the ball sack
Oh
sitting
my
there.
god! Tuck that in. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It is the only
They don't
thing.
have any hair, huh? It's
no,
just like
yeah, it was crazy. It was a cat cafe.
He was
and
really
he
cute.
What does
he
it
was
feel?
cute.
What does it feel like to
like
hold him?
skin.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but he was so cute
he
though.
was cute.
Look at
Aw.
these
He was
guys.
also fat though.
Oh, yeah, let me
Remember? He
pull
was
these up.
fat.
Oh, little puppy.
Don't pay
nose.
attention to this one up here.
Oh my god.
That's kind of what the one in the cat cafe looked
No,
like.
he looked kind of like this. He looked something like that.
Except he was fat.
Aw.
He was more. He was like gray, I think.
It's like an ugly cute, you know.
Yeah.
There's like it's a balance. I like the one with the hoodie. Put the hoodie one on.
Where's that?
Right here.
Oh.
This one. This is hilarious.
Shit.
Aw.
This one just has it ready.
Looks like Snoop Dogg.
He's a little chilly. I imagine if those types
Yeah,
of
they
cats
probably
lived
do.
here, in the wintertime, they
wonder.
probably would need a nice blanket.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy is vibing. I love the aesthetic of this guy.
He's so cute.
Like his little. He doesn't even have whiskers.
What?
Wait, really?
Oh my
Whoa,
gosh.
I didn't even think about
I
that.
know.
Because cats
Why
have.
are they hairless? Can you look it up?
Yeah, there's got to be like some like gene thing that like where they just don't produce hair follicles or something. I am Dr. Chase, scientist Chase. Okay, what is it, Miles?
It's a mutation in the same gene that
Yeah.
produces the short curly coat on the Devon Rex.
Interesting.
What?
There you go, folks.
Huh. So you could either have really curly hair or no hair.
What is the purpose of a hairless cat? That's what one of the questions is.
Why are these things existing?
To
They
be
still
cute.
produce skin cells or dander, and not, as it is often referred to. However, the lack of hair may be enough to reduce an allergenic reaction for allergy sufferers. Oh, so you might be able to have a. That is the worst answer to why. What is the purpose of a hairless cat for allergenic people?
Because that's
Yeah,
a dumb
yeah,
question.
yeah. They were bred just for people who have allergies.
Why do Sphinx cats smell?
Ew. Do they? I wonder if you had to lotion them up.
Probably not.
No?
Because they probably were fine without humans before.
Yeah, do they groom themselves the same way that
Oh,
like,
weird.
hair cats do?
Yeah, that's gotta
Yeah.
hurt them, right?
I know.
I wonder if their
tongue is,
tongues
like,
are
rough.
smoother. So
We should just get one so we can find
yeah,
out.
yeah. Please get one because
Yeah.
I want to know.
I don't think Yoshi would like
These
it.
are such weird questions.
You wouldn't think of it as a cat.
No.
He's like, this is something different.
Can Sphinx cats survive in the wild? Why do Sphinx poop so much? And what happens if I don't bathe a Sphinx?
Oh my god.
Do you have to bathe them?
And why do Sphinx cats scream?
What?
I feel like these are all just questions.
Do they really scream?
I
What does
don't-
it say?
No, they sing and chirp.
Aw.
That's
They're
kind of
like-
cute.
That's
like
like Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I've never seen one in person, it would be the weirdest thing to see one just like on the street. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, what is that? I would think it's a rat.
Yeah, probably.
The
Be like,
one,
"That's
yeah,
a
he
big
was the
rat."
friendliest
It
one
does
at the
look like
cat
a rat.
cafe.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Where
He
where
looked
was this cat
really-
cafe?
In Quebec City, Canada.
Oh, okay.
He looked really grumpy though.
He did.
But he was
I think that was
friendly.
just his face.
Yeah.
I went to a cat cafe in Tokyo.
Oh, really?
And that was really cool. They didn't have one there though.
Interesting.
couple
Did they
that-
have a Japanese bobtail?
Oh man, you know what? I don't think they did.
That's weird.
I
They
didn't
wouldn't
see.
have one.
I didn't see any of them.
I-
I saw a few cats in the street though.
Yeah,
None of
and
them
not
were
they all
that.
had tails.
Mm-hmm.
My expectation of Japan would
Was
be
that there's tons
going
of
there.
Yoshis
And
around.
yeah, I see a bunch of Yoshi around.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
It's
Yeah, I
just
don't remember.
yeah. I
seeing 'em.
wonder. We should look up
Hmm.
where are the Japanese bobtails. It
Where
might not be
are
Tokyo.
they? I need to know this
Yeah.
information.
Because imagine if you just went somewhere and like all of them were
Yeah.
Japanese bobtails. I would take one home.
Aren't there like certain islands where they just have like tons of cats like
I think
like
so.
running wild and
I mean, that's kind of how Greece is.
really?
Hmm.
There's tons of cats there. Oh.
When in Malaga, Spain, they have tons of stray cats. Like there's this boardwalk, or I don't know, it's just a walk along the ocean, and they have tons of cats there. All right, I sent you some photos.
What does it say? Where are the Japanese
Yeah,
bobtails?
where are they
This
at?
is from Japan.
Where in
I
Japan?
know. I'm
You
trying
gotta
to
know.
Oh god, I can't read that fast, guys.
You gotta know ASAP.
It says that one theory of short-tailed cats in Japan indicates that they arrived from the Asian continent at least 1,000 years ago.
Yoshi's ancient.
In 1602, Japanese authorities decreed that all cats should be set free to help deal with rodents threatening the nation's silkworm population and associated industry. That's so sad. Like, what if you had a pet and they were just like, no, he has to go kill rodents?
He's an outside cat now.
Oh my gosh.
At the time, buying or selling cats was illegal, and from then on, bobtailed cats lived on farms and in the streets. Japanese bobtails thus became the street farm cats.
I don't see Yoshi as an outside cat.
No, he doesn't like the outside.
I wonder if that's why they became the good luck. Isn't that what that is? The cat that goes
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
is because maybe they kept the rodents away. Like, so maybe keeping that statue or whatever.
Oh,
Meant
Interesting.
You know, like keeping bad stuff away.
Yeah.
Where does it say they are now?
Oh, it says they're all around the world now. Yeah.
If we go to Japan and don't see one, I'm going to be disappointed.
It says in 1968, Elizabeth Ferret is the first known person to have imported the Japanese bobtail to the Western Hemisphere.
Wait, in 19 what?
68. So Yoshi's ancestors have not been in the U.S. very long.
Yeah, only a couple generations.
Yeah. In 1976, recognition for the long hair variety followed in 1993. As of 2013, there are a number of Japanese bobtail breeders, most of which are based in North America, with a few in Europe and in Japan.
It's just funny that you found like a purebred cat at the Humane Society.
Yet the breed remains
like that's so random.
rare. I saw his parents there too.
Yeah,
Really?
he saw his parents.
Yeah, they
That's
were
so cute.
two adult Japanese
The
bobtails
vet didn't
there.
even know what kind of cat he was, and he tried to tell us it was a Manx cat. But if you look up a Manx, like they're chubby and like really
They're
thick.
kind of more fluffier. I think.
Yeah.
Guys, I got it right here. The bobtail cats are considered to be a lucky breed, and to own one promises prosperity and happiness.
Oh wow, there you guys go.
The tricolored Mike is known as the luckiest color for this breed.
What's that?
There is a Japanese statue of a cat with its paw in the air called Maneki Neko, which translates to beckoning cat, and is an artist's interpretation of the bobtail. These statues are common in many Japanese shops as they are thought to attract good people. That's what
Or
it is.
tourists. No. Yeah, you see them everywhere.
Yeah,
the ones that just
in
do
the
that.
Did
US.
you actually see them a lot? In
Oh,
Japan?
Oh, really? In Japan
Everywhere.
too?
Everywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. All the gift shops have them too.
Yeah.
You know, you can get them,
That's
but
funny.
you know, I was just like, I can go on Amazon and get them for like half this price. It probably comes from China, which a lot of them do. You look at the bottom, and you're like, it's made in China. You're like, okay, great. I want something made here.
That's crazy. That's so weird.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if we ever saw another Japanese bobtail, we'd have to have it immediately.
You're like, they're coming home.
Yeah,
again.
because it's like so rare to find.
It does
them.
say that they're a pretty rare breed.
I've never seen another one.
Right. Yeah.
But I know that they do have breeders. I think there is one in Colorado. I looked it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, we're getting another cat.
Well, you know where to go, person, if you listen to this, which you won't. But so what's next? What's on the old travel list for Adventuring Eyes?
Well,
We're kind of taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking
Yeah.
a little break from traveling with tourism boards and stuff because
Just to like.
We want to do some personal travel.
Oh, cool.
Just because, like, a lot of times you have to follow itineraries and, like, there's deliverables and stuff. So it's still work.
We've been doing it for, it's been fun, but we've been doing it
a lot.
Pretty consistently, like every couple of weeks for months now. And we want to take.
So, I think we're going to Uray this weekend. What's funny
Still this
though,
summer,
what's
right?
kind of funny is like on the tourism trips, like they'll have us like eating out for every meal at these really fancy restaurants and like sleeping in, and like on our trips we're like sleeping in our car and like waking up at sunrise and stuff. But we like feel like we like that better kind of sometimes.
Different change of pace.
I think like if we had done that so much, then it would be different. Like we'd be like, oh, we want to eat out, but
it's nice.
It's just
it
funny.
kind of it's like reflective of how some of our trips are, where we will camp in our car or whatever sometimes, but a lot of the times we'll still end up getting a nice hotel for part of the trip and go to some nice restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sure that also yields a bit of like spontaneous activity or something that you find, that's not planned.
Right.
Like, because you have an itinerary or something. So maybe there's a bit of like, I don't know,
like we
joy
can just
in that.
explore. I mean, a lot of times we do have that also on tourism trips, but I feel like it's more like, oh, we have to go here at this time. But so I think we're going to Uray this weekend, and then we're going to Florida for Logan's wedding, and then we're going to Yosemite, I think. In October, because I've been wanting to go there for a long time.
You haven't been there yet?
We have in the winter though, so it'll be completely different.
Oh, is that when you went on that trip with Hannah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So now we're gonna go and hike and like hopefully see the fall colors maybe, but we'll see. Yeah. and I think that's all we have planned really. And then our Guatemala trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me some details on that. What's the time frame on that, and how long?
So we'll be there for a week
Wow.
with the group. We're going to go a couple days before. We actually just bought our flights yesterday.
Wow.
They were only $350 each.
Whoa.
Isn't that insane?
That is.
That's like cheaper than going to Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what airline is this on?
American Airlines.
American.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's only a one layover in Texas, so it's like really not.
Dallas,
It's like
I'm assuming?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Dallas or Houston? One of those.
Yeah, I remember.
Sure.
But yeah, so it's super easy to get there. So we're gonna get there Thursday, and then Saturday our group is coming. So far we have 11 people, but
Wow.
hopefully we'll have more. Because
Yeah, the max
I
will
still
be
have more.
16.
Yeah, I still need to promote it a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and I know there's some people that are maybe interested.
Is that who you're trying? What's your like goal that you're trying to get to? Like how many people?
I mean, we'd be happy with just 11, but yeah, since we have extra space, like it would be great to sell out all 16 spots.
Yeah, I think
but-
16 is like what the people who organize, like who built the trip and stuff, like they've been doing group trips, and so I think that's what they found is a great group size
Cool.
for doing those activities and stuff all together. So yeah, we're trying to do 16.
And when is this?
It's January 27th to February 3rd.
Now down there, is that warmer?
So
Season
they
than it
kind of
is
have
here?
like dry and wet, like kind
Oh.
of like Peru. So like it's their
Okay.
dry season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
So
it's
it's
like the
better
best
time.
it's the best time because we want to hike the volcano. So we're gonna hike an active volcano and sleep at the top, and then the next morning like you hike back. So that's gonna be super fun. And then
Yeah.
other than that, we're just like exploring a lake and what else?
Tons
are we
of
doing?
fun stuff. I mean,
Yeah, exploring the
probably
cities.
Go ATVing
Mhm.
near Antigua. Antigua has a lot of good restaurants.
Yeah, it's
a
like
good
actually
food
really well
place.
known for its food.
So we'll probably go to some Michelin. No.
There you go. Is there Michelin star restaurants down there?
I don't
about that.
know.
Interesting.
You know, that would make sense though, because they'd probably be a little harder to get to, right? Isn't that what Michelin
That's
is?
the whole deal.
Is that how it's based on?
Well, no, it's
It's quality too.
some people say that. No, but it's like, is it worth the trip? Basically,
Interesting.
yeah.
I want to see if
That was the whole thing, because it was on a guide that they would publish for people traveling, and so they were like, the more stars you had, the more worth it was to, not because it was necessarily hard to get to, but more so it is like, oh yeah, if you're going to be stopping in the city, if it's 3 stars, it's like definitely you should try to eat there or whatever.
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm
doing
excited.
some boating around this big lake. Gonna visit some small communities around there. Yeah, doing that track. Spending some time in Antigua, like I said, ATVing, going through some markets, maybe food classes, things like that. So it should be a great trip. Something
really fun.
I think
Yeah.
that it's like
I'm excited that we get to do that, and
How can
hopefully we can do
people-
more.
How can people sign up to join?
So go to our Instagram, and the link is in our profile, and it should be on our website soon, our blog. But yeah, they can DM us. They can go on our just through the link and book it, whatever.
Slide into the DMs.
Yeah.
Get all up in there.
Yep. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time. So everyone should book. There's only a few spots left.
Do I know anybody that's signed up with you guys?
Antonio's coming.
Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah,
mhm,
is it
mhm.
cool? Your sister?
She's not coming because she's gonna be with the baby.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say, how
it's
does
his
that-
40th birthday actually,
Oh, so
so
you're
he
just
wants to
like-
do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's very fun.
He's been
yeah, he's
wanting
gonna
to
love
do
it. A
kind
trip.
of go to like Galapagos, Peru, do a
Mhm.
kind of trip like that. So I think
And he
this
wanted
lined up
it to be
perfectly.
planned for him, which is perfect
Yeah.
because it's like literally like nobody has to plan anything. It's like all
He's a busy
planned.
guy. So
Yeah.
That makes
So-
sense.
And he's into
Um,
photography, and we're
Mhm.
into it, and so I think it just like was a perfect match for
Yeah.
him.
But other than that, we don't know anyone else who's going either. So
Yeah, followers. Just
Yeah,
people
just
who-
people who
looking
saw
at-
it and thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm
That's cool.
excited.
That really sounds like a cool opportunity to get out and have your own little adventure.
yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Cool.
It's always nice to do a really hard hike with other people
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than like just us.
I assume though it would give you a little bit more push, You know?
Yeah. Like,
to
at
get
least,
through it.
yeah.
Because like everybody's there.
Everyone's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Group
too.
effort.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, I get that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, hopefully we can do more too, because they have ones to like Patagonia and Jordan and stuff, which
Oh,
those are
Jordan.
like two of my top, that I want to do. So
Like over in Europe,
Mhm,
Jordan.
the Middle East. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That's where what is that called? The thing there?
Petra.
Petra. You know Petra?
Petra.
It's
No.
like it's like it was a city, right?
Yeah,
In the
an ancient city, and isn't
Oh,
it one
yeah.
of the wonders of the world or no?
What do they have there?
That's
Oh
what-
yeah, that's an Indiana Jones, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Something
that's
like
the
that.
Last Crusaders. I
It-
think it's like built into a
Into
big
the rocks.
Mhm.
flat thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it one of the seven wonders?
that's
or
cool.
is it 7 or 8 wonders of the world?
7 or 8? 15. I don't know.
It's number
Who made the wonders
two?
of the world?
Oh,
Is my question.
It's voted one of the new 7 wonders
New,
of the world.
okay.
Oh yeah, because there's a
Gotcha.
new and an old, right? They
Okay.
gotta
Yeah.
keep updating it.
Yeah, the new.
20, dude, they just dropped the
Machu
2023
Picchu
wonders
was-
of the world. It's crazy.
Machu Picchu was the old, right? Is that? I'm curious now.
Now you have to
Yeah, I'm
look it up
curious.
because it's one of those things. It's gonna bother you if you don't.
Let's see.
Machu Picchu. I like saying that because
It's a new wonder.
Really?
Mm.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow,
the-
so
the
you guys
new
got
wonders-
to one of the new wonders.
The new wonders was created in 2007.
By who?
Yeah, who
is
has
this
the
guy?
authority?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Charles Darwin, the 27th.
It's through open voting on the internet.
Okay. Oh,
That
that's
is not what I
funny.
expected.
so Bodie McBoatface is like number one. Just 'cause
what
internet.
are the other ones?
So the old wonders, like the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
original 7 wonders, it is 7 by the way.
Okay.
The Colosseum in Rome,
Mhm.
Yep,
the Great Wall of China,
of course.
the Taj Mahal,
Yeah, we all know these.
the Jesus statue in Brazil,
Hmm.
Machu Picchu.
Oh, so it's on the old too. Maybe
That's
this
okay.
is the new. You might be looking at the new one, bud.
I don't know. Well, let's see.
Keep
All right.
going.
That thing in Mexico, I don't
Oh,
know how
yeah.
to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pyramid looking thing.
Petra. Oh, this is the new. This is the new.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, get the old up.
They got me.
Get the old
I'm-
encyclopedia up.
I'm surprised that the Great Wall of China is not one of the original.
Yeah.
It might be.
What's
Maybe
what's
they-
older than
I
that?
know.
you
So
know?
it's 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Oh.
And that's probably not ancient. It wasn't that long ago that they built.
Okay, so what
Great
does it
Wall.
say then?
Wait, really though? Because that
Yeah,
the
you
ancient world
sure?
would be like the pyramids.
Yeah,
right?
so the Great Pyramids, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon,
right. Babylon had to be in there, right?
statue of Zeus at Olympia.
Isn't that in Jordan? Where's Babylon? Or where
Is that
was?
It's
Greece?
in Iraq.
Oh.
It is?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. I don't know either.
Wait, hold on. I don't think they even know if it actually existed. It
But-
says
yeah.
existence unresolved.
Yes. So,
So
they
it's
think
not a thing now.
they think it was this big because like it was one of the great cities, right, of
Hmm.
ancient times. One of the first massive civilizations. So I'm sure there's like some either literature or some sort of reference to this that they think that it existed because of.
Right. So yeah, they think it existed until 1 AD.
Till one. What are the
Um,
other ones?
The
Yeah.
Temple of Artemis at Ephesus,
So in Greece.
Turkey, actually.
Oh,
Turkey.
But I think it's pretty close. I don't know how to say this next one, but it is also in Turkey. But I think these were built by the Greeks, but it just happens to be in present-day Turkey.
They made all the good stuff.
Yeah. Colossus of Rhodes and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. So I don't know. Are
I feel
any
like people
of these?
reference the new ones then more often.
Yeah. So like the Great Pyramids are basically, or I guess it's the Great Pyramid, and then there's pyramids around it, right? I
Yeah.
don't know.
There are tons of.
So where are the top places that you guys want to travel?
Oh, I want to go to. I definitely want to go to Italy next. That's my next big vacation or whatever. There's so much to explore there. I just
Yeah,
watched
for sure.
I feel kind of like silly saying this, but I just watched that one White Lotus season 2 show.
Oh yeah.
Where it all takes place in Sicily,
Uh-huh.
and it just seems so like, I don't know. After watching that, I romanticized about being there, and some of our families from that region, and so it'd be cool to visit. I'd look forward to that. Other than that, we're going to the Albuquerque Balloon Festival, which was gonna be kind of a bucket list item for Janie and I. Yeah, and then after that, I don't know. Who knows? There's still so much to explore internationally.
Yeah. What's at the top of your list that you want to?
Germany seems really cool. Never been there. South of France could be really
I've
cool.
seen a lot on South of France.
Yeah, like
recently.
Nice or Monaco seems like, I don't know. That'll be less of like an adventure and more of like a relaxing thing.
Yeah.
So there's lots of like resorts and stuff on the water that I wouldn't be too mad if I found myself stuck in one of those,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, geez, I don't know. There's so much. Switzerland, like the Swiss Alps, seem really cool.
Yeah, that would be. We were just talking like about snowboarding there. That would be so crazy,
Oh my
right?
gosh. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that just
We should all do
renewed
that.
my interest in doing that. I would love to go snowboarding somewhere international.
Yeah.
Where you just like show up, you rent some stuff, and
Yeah, my
We-
Italian coworkers told me there's some resorts they have there that are open all year.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
In the
Hmm.
like, yeah, I guess it's technically still the Alps, but like how Italy is kind of like a mountain, continuous mountain
Yeah.
up there
Wow.
in their mountains.
That's incredible. When we were in Japan, it was like right after when they closed.
Yeah.
So we just missed like the end of the season, which I would have been inclined to like make a day trip, because I think it's only like a few hours outside, where you can take I don't know if you can take a train up there, but you can definitely take some sort of transportation up there for like
That's cool.
a few
Yeah.
days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you guys? I mean, besides the Guatemala,
Yeah.
and all the stuff
I
you have
definitely want to
planned.
go to the Alps, like
Yeah?
really bad. Like you're going, is it Spain again or in
Yeah.
April? We might try to do a trip in April to the Alps. We'll see. It might be kind of early to go there, but that's high
Yeah.
on our list.
I'm going to Lisbon, Portugal in November,
I heard that's cool.
which we've always wanted to go to Portugal, but I think I'll do more like some city stuff this time. But we want to go back to Portugal and do some hiking there.
Yeah.
There's some really
I
really cool
am
mountains.
really want to go to Kenya like next year.
Like in
Yeah.
Africa?
Yeah, I just really want to go back to
One of our
Africa.
friends just went there.
Yeah, and it was like
yeah,
it made
just
me
some
want to
cool
go even
videos.
more, even though I already wanted to go. Just because we didn't even own a camera when we went on our safari, so it's like didn't happen basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think
iPhone.
it would be really cool to take photos of the animals with like want to rent like the wildlife lens.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like a wild experience and like still one of our favorite trips. So
Well, we talked about places that we want to go to. What are some places that you like are on the bottom of your list?
yeah, I was thinking that
Russia.
Egypt. I don't really have any desire to go to
Probably
Egypt.
No,
like
Egypt?
Yeah.
Eastern Ukraine.
What's that about?
I don't know. I've heard things from people who have visited that it's just like not the best vibe.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is there to do in Egypt besides
I mean, just
see the pyramids?
and I mean the cities and stuff. I think,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't really know a lot about it to be
Me either.
honest.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of other places I would rather go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Russia. You said Egypt. What
Yeah.
other places that you're like,
So-
I'm good?
A really popular one is Saudi Arabia, but I think
Okay.
like we probably that's one that's pretty low on our list. I think because of their
Politics.
their government.
Right.
Yeah, the government's pretty.
How they like kill journalists and stuff.
Yeah.
Some places that I am like on the fence about going, like I really want to visit, but the crowds, I feel like it would totally take away from the experience. It's like Santorini, Greece, you know, like I feel like it would be so beautiful, but I've heard like the other islands are better in Greece. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to visit there just to like
I've
see
heard
what it
something
was.
similar
but
about Greece.
yeah,
where it's kind of
I've seen
overcrowded.
videos of like people watching the sunset and there's just like huge crowds and it's like,
Ugh.
Yeah. I
is
think
that
I'm
even
good.
worth it? I don't know.
No.
I figured out I hate crowded places.
Yeah, we all
Totally.
knew that, babe.
Sensory overload, my friend. It
Where
happens
do
to the
you
best
where
of us.
do you want to go?
Yeah.
Or where
Kenya?
don't you want to go?
Probably Afghanistan.
Don't want to go to
Oh,
Afghanistan?
don't want to go. Where I want to go is Anywhere that Sarah wants to go, obviously.
Duh.
Just kidding.
So we're going to Kenya.
Yeah, most of the same places that Sarah said. I mean,
Yeah.
like, there's just so many places that it's hard for me to be like, I want to go. Like, even when I had the opportunity to go pretty much anywhere in Europe in November, I kept asking Sarah, I was like, can you help me decide? Because there's so many
November's
places
a hard time, though.
that there's nowhere I'm like, I really want to go to that place
Yeah.
next. I just
Yeah.
want to go to one of the places. And so I think what narrowed it down for that was just weather.
Oh, true.
So for me, it's just like there's so many places. For places I don't want to go, it's mainly just places that aren't very safe.
Oh, gotcha.
That's really what
Political
Oh, I
unrest
also want to
and-
go
Yeah.
to Patagonia really bad. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Dubai?
I
Yeah.
don't think. I
Oh, do
mean,
you want to turn that off?
Oh, yeah.
just
sorry.
because I don't know. Isn't it more like city? It's like a huge city.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
city
know
in
if
the
I
middle
would
of the
like it.
desert. Yeah.
I'd have to do more.
It seems
research.
like it would be.
It'd be cool maybe for a day or two.
Yeah, if somebody invited you there, like if the government invited you there,
Come
I
to
guess
Dubai.
I would go.
sounds
Yeah.
like it would be awesome.
I think they do work with a lot of people actually.
But just going there because of how much things cost there, I don't
Is it
know
a
how
lot?
much fun
I
it would
think
be.
so. Yeah.
Is it like Las Vegas
The thing
kind of?
is, I think it's like
Maybe.
Las Vegas on steroids.
Mm.
It's
Could
like you can not get anything you want, but like literally experience anything you want.
Yeah.
Like the most luxurious
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
And you can take those flights there that have like showers and shit on them. You know, the ones that
Right,
it's like 200,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emirates.
Yeah.
whatever it
Airlines
is,
or whatever.
$250,000 ticket. Is that what they are? 25.
25 or
25,000?
yeah, I
That's
think
crazy.
25,000.
Yeah.
What about Antarctica?
Oh my
Did you
gosh.
guys go
Wait,
there?
we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That's like at the top of my list.
Really?
Yeah, I just applied to go there, but I don't think we got it.
So I think they have cruises, right? that
Yeah.
do it. Is that the only way that?
I think at Disney, right?
They
On
have
their
Disney.
adventure
There's a
cruises?
ton of
Mhm.
There's a ton of cruises that go there, and they all
Oh,
have different
okay.
routes. Like some go to like Georgia, the south of Georgia, and that's where all the penguins are.
South of
Mm.
Georgia?
Yeah,
What's Georgia?
I don't know. Isn't
Like
that the
Georgia
country?
and Middle East?
Yeah, I think. I don't know exactly.
Oh.
That's what I saw
Huh.
on there. I don't know. Like it's like a long cruise, but
It starts from south of Georgia, you're saying?
no,
Hmm.
it starts from Argentina, like
Oh,
wherever it is.
yeah, okay, Argentina
Yeah.
or like
I think
Chile
that's where
or
most
something.
of them start.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
Because it's.
I think
not a
that
far
some of them have
distance.
different routes, but
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, I would definitely want to go there. Anywhere that has like a lot of wildlife, I really like,
Mm.
and I think that would be crazy.
Do they have a lot of wildlife?
Yeah, like tons.
In
Penguins
Antarctica?
and whales and seals and yeah,
Polar bears?
polar bears. I don't know. Probably not. No, I don't think so.
Are those
Actually,
are those on Antarctica?
I don't
or is
think
it only
so.
north?
Oh man, I
yeah.
don't know.
No, I don't think they are. I
think
think,
it's in
I
the
looked
North
this up
Pole.
recently.
Excuse me, I
Really?
think
They're
they're in
not.
the North Pole.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's what is it?
Because
too
that's where
cold?
Santa is.
Why don't
Are
they-
polar bears even real?
yeah. Not for long.
Yeah, it's the Arctic.
It's not. Yeah, it's not Antarctica.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, get your poles right, man.
But I just think, yeah, anywhere that has a lot of wildlife. Plus, like,
Yeah.
that would be a more relaxing trip because you're, like, on a cruise. But, like,
yes,
the
we're-
scenery changes,
yeah.
like, every day.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you can't go there, right?
Mm-mm.
They just have
Yeah.
research stations. There's no like cities,
Yeah.
or, like Airbnb.
I think it would be so
Yeah,
crazy, like,
that would be funny.
just to be there and, like, know that no one is around you for so
That
many
seems kinda
miles.
scary.
Like,
I don't know if I like that. I just don't like being on boats in general.
oh.
So being on a boat
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere seems a little too much for me.
But what if you saw penguins? Would it be worth it?
I could go see penguins downtown
Yeah.
Denver. Actually, I heard something really devastating.
What?
Was that there's like a whole season of new babies that didn't make it.
Really?
Polar bears?
Why?
No, for penguins.
Penguins.
Apparently there was
Where?
it was like a bad cycle
Really?
for the
In
penguins.
Antarctica?
Yeah, in Antarctica. And
that's so
basically
sad.
no new babies were produced.
Wow.
Which is
Yeah.
like basically setting off all kinds of alarms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's
It was
horrible.
really weird. I don't know the specifics
Yeah.
of it, but I read a headline, which
Oh my
is
gosh.
just as good
Yeah.
these days, right?
Guys,
Right?
I just found this. So the entire U.S. can fit inside of Antarctica.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
For those on YouTube watching us, we got a nice little
Wait.
thumbnail up for you.
I wish I could put my phone up there.
Isn't that crazy?
You
That's
should.
insane. Yeah. It's a lot of land
Oh,
mass.
never mind.
Once that all melts, it's going to be a nice spot for a couple Four Seasons, maybe a couple Burger Kings. You know,
No, there's just gonna be
we're gonna
nothing there.
we're gonna
Yeah.
get an Arby's in there.
Imagine
lots
if-
of fresh water, right?
Imagine if you're from like south of Chile or Argentina and you can just go claim a piece of land over there.
The cool
Just take
thing
a
is
little
the
boat over.
cruises.
Just stab the flag in the
Yeah.
The cruises do. You could do like polar plunges in the Arctic.
Oh,
waters.
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really scary.
They give you like suits and stuff. I think.
Yeah,
my
but
God.
like, is it a small pool
And
or
they-
is it just like jump in the
no,
ocean?
it's an ocean.
Oh my gosh.
I would
But there's
probably
people
never do
around
that.
there. Yes, you would.
I like. Have you ever heard of sea monsters?
Yeah, thalassophobia. Do you know what that is? It's like the,
The fear of
fear
open
of big
water?
open water.
Doesn't
Um,
everyone have that?
I do. I for sure do have that.
I definitely like.
Just
I
thinking
never
about
will
it,
go
yeah.
scuba diving. Like that's like something that freaks me out so much.
Scuba diving?
Yeah, I will never
I think
do
I
it.
could probably get comfortable enough to do
Really?
that.
I don't
Nothing,
think I could.
It has to be shallow, like a reef or something.
Yeah.
That we go to. It can't be like big, vast. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess you wouldn't do that normally with a scuba dive, right? Because the purpose of it is to like see stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's a wide open ocean, that's kind of pointless.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
yeah.
I've done helmet diving. I would do that, but scuba diving like freaks me out for some reason.
I
like the
remember there was
pressure.
Yeah, stuff could go wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
there was a movie I can't remember. It was about seals. Like this guy
Free
training
Willy?
to be a seal.
He was trying to be a seal.
Navy
What?
seal.
Rob Schneider is a seal.
No, he was trying to. She's training to be a Navy SEAL.
Oh,
And
that type of seal.
They took them and dropped them like out in the ocean, and
Yeah.
they were like swim back. And I thought during watching that movie that like I was gonna die
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
because of how.
Wait, was it with Ashton Kutcher and Kevin Costner? It was like The Guardian.
I don't know. Is that what it's
Oh
called?
no, I know what
There's
you're
a
talking
mo- there's
about.
a
though.
movie
I
about
think you're
that,
talking
yeah.
about something.
The Guardian
or maybe.
movie.
I don't know. Maybe it was. Did they
yeah,
drop
that's
him?
it right there.
Did they drop him out in the ocean?
Yeah, they go through like the training
Yeah, I
montage,
remember
and
that.
they do some like crazy stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us, and
Hi.
sharing some of your travels and some of what's ahead of you for you guys. I'm really proud and impressed with how you've built your business. It's really
Thank
cool.
you.
I think it's awesome, and I'm really looking forward to see where
Oh
it
yeah, I
goes.
forgot to mention that this is my first week that I'm like working part time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This coming
like
up
this,
week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we
That's
can
awesome.
document it now.
Well,
Let's
now,
see.
yeah, you'll get to spend way more time on something that
Yeah.
I think you're a little more passionate about.
Yeah.
Even though you like both things. But
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. I'm excited to see where you take it, and I'm sure
Thanks.
everybody else is. And for one last time, you guys, the listeners, can go to
AdventuringEyes.com
boom.
/@theluckyduck. No, just
Is there a coupon that we're offering? Adventuring Eyes.
y'all want some
Guess-
bruise cream? No, it's Adventuring Eyes on Insta, and you'll see some cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Some good recommendations. You'll see us going to Alaska if you ever want to go to Alaska.
Yep.
You know, see how it went.
Lots of cool stuff. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, until next time, stick around. Follow us on YouTube. Follow them. We're back for more every 2 weeks. Stick around for some extra fun stuff ahead. Bye now.
Go to bed.
The good event thing